Y'all know what it is. Yeah, so this is a bit of a sticky little situation because I try to like everybody. I try to get along with everybody, but I'm loyal to the pseudo killers. More importantly, I'm loyal to Bobby Banger. But anyways, we always have to address the misinformation. Doesn't matter who it is or who it comes from. If we know that it's misinformation, we're going to address it. So this is what this is. We're addressing some stuff. Shout out Bobby Banger, God Killer in the building. So, without further ado, we do the God Killer real quick, and then Cedric, do your thing. Yeah.
How do we get here? How do we get here, man? So, what I would say is, I'm definitely looking forward to the presentation.
Mhm.
And to this point, ain't nobody really called nobody name, right? But I'm gonna say the name, right? Doc, how you say her name? What is it? How you say it? Doc.
Got too sweet. Shout
Doc
out.
too sweet. Cousin of too short. All right.
I know you finna play. I know you finna play. Go ahead. Do you?
Listen, man, I ain't tripping, right? I got a phone call. They was like, "Yo, man, you gotta check this sister out. Yo, she rock." And I'm like, "All right, where she at?" She on something that's juju on there. Bet. I say I'm gonna get up there, Cedric again. I say I'm gonna join the pseudo killers, right? I say I'm gonna get up there just in case, right?
Right.
Yeah, I got a text message. Look, man, I even read a text. Hey, look, man, give Shorty this, the thing to the server, because we always looking for some intelligent women with
Yes.
degrees.
Facts.
So I don't even care about the wild conversation about playing scientists. I'm a scientist. By definition, I'm a scientist, and then play somewhere in between using the colloquial definition of it to play that game. Because you can get a 10-year-old kid to do a science experiment and call him a scientist. So that ain't what I'm talking about when I say scientist. I'm talking about an expert. Talking about a person with at least a master's degree, working on a doctorate degree. That's what we talking about when the pseudo killers is having these conversations about expertise, right? This is what we talking about. All right. There's levels to this thing right here, right? And on that show, I talked about the sister. She getting there. She's on the right path. So it ain't how is that? That was a red flag for me. You're not even supposed to think that's shade. You're supposed to say, yeah, that's real. That's the truth. That's not shade. I wasn't knocking her at all. No shade, no nothing. I was simply explaining what it was, because if I wasn't on the show, I wouldn't have said nothing about it. Right. But since everybody know what I do, I'm a science advocate. I cannot sit on a panel and a person play expert and they not. That's all. Like I'm not able to do it. Right. So I'm never going to do it. And I didn't holler and scream. I didn't disrespect nobody. But the thing that really got me the most was the shade on, you're not respecting me because I'm a sister. You don't respect my credentials because I'm a sister. I'm a woman. And that's the part that got me. And that's what I want to address. I want to address the fact that, man, anybody that's been watching me long enough know from the Raw squad, we was the first people to actually advocate for women being in this arena. You can't name them. I can go down the list.
Naya.
Women. Sister Naya, a psychologist. Don't make me call her up with a master's degree, right? I'm saying, so don't make me ask. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that route, right? You got Sister Tiffany. You got you. All y'all got degrees. Master degrees. You know what I'm saying? My mother had a degree. My aunt had a degree. You feel me? So I've always, all my life, been surrounded by women with degrees. This community was very, very short with that. What they had was a whole lot of women that was pseudos, is what they had. Crystal magic, flying through the air. That's what we had from the women. And I was able to find sisters, that took pride in the education. That took pride in understanding what African spirituality was, what New Age spirituality was. You know what I'm saying? What you would call, what's another thing they be trying astral projection is, right? Took pride in finding women that wasn't concerned with that and more concerned with leaving their education. Dr. Oyama, just a doctorate in engineering, right? She's on the team. So I would never disrespect her, Miss Tiffany, Juju, Naya, and all the sisters with degrees by downing another sister with a daggone degree. I would never do that. I'm the good guy. So the fact that people would act like that, I don't even give a damn about the manosphere. I bangs on them fools. Right? Matter of fact, we got quality programming with the sisters talking about feminism and how people misunderstand what feminism is. So I am confused about the slander of my good name when it comes to the sisterhood and pushing education forward. My daughters have degrees. They was like, Dad, she said, why would she say that? My daughter's saying that. I was like, I don't know. I know why you said it, though. You said it because it stung. And the only thing you could do is use that. Anyway, I'm going to get off that. I want to keep it super cordial. I know the people around you may not feel that way, right? I know you got some good people around you, some good platforms you on. I just don't think you know me. I don't know you, and I don't suspect you know me. So we'll just hit the reset button, right? But at the end of the day, you're still a pseudo. I'm going to say it. Now, until that change, until you prove otherwise, then that's what it's going to be. So it is what it is. Go ahead, Brother Cedric.
Get on off the big screen. All right. Before I get into this is again, like, one of our opening songs. We are not about attacking an individual. We are attacking misinformation, or we correcting misinformation. That whole endeavor was an attempt to just correct maybe not some misinformation, or maybe someone misspoke, but there was never an attempt to undermine any person based on gender. As a matter of fact, when you see us up here wilding out as pseudo killers, you see who's at the top there? That's the executive producer. We answer to females within this organization headed by Juju and Miss Tiff. The pseudo killers are on the backs of these two women. So at no point in time can you hold us accountable for such a thing. The work we produce is because we have to answer to a high standards with these two ladies, literally answer to them. And we are proud of that as pseudo killers because of the organization and the platform that we have. So that was really unnecessary to try and paint the pseudo killers in that way, right? Now, I think I speak for the ladies when I say that. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the presentation. The illusion of expertise. Why a bachelor's degree doesn't make you a scientist.
Wait a minute. Miss Tiffany's on the panel. She wanted to say something real quick.
I'm sorry.
I'm good for now. He can go. I'll just wait until.
Sorry, didn't see you, Miss Tiff.
No, it's all right. I just got here.
Okay. Why are we here? Why it matters when someone falsely claims to be a scientist. In the world of skepticism and critical thinking, the very heart of what pseudo-killer stands for, truth, precision, and intellectual honesty are non-negotiable. When someone falsely claims to be a scientist without meeting the academic, professional, and methodological standards of real science, it is a matter for several key reasons. One, it devalues true scientific work. Real scientists spend years, often decades, rigorously training, conducting original research, subjecting their work to peer scrutiny, and advancing human knowledge. When someone casually adopts a title based on minimal credentials, it cheapens the very meaning of science and undermines the credibility of those who have earned it. It's for the very reason I do not say I'm a scientist. It breeds misinformation. False claims to scientific authority are a gateway to pseudoscience. People may cite their supposed scientist status to lend false credibility to untested, anecdotal, or outright wrong ideas. This is how pseudoscientific movements like anti-vaccination campaigns, quantum mysticism, and faith healing gain traction by appealing to false authority. Quantum mysticism, it misleads the public. Most people are not experts in evaluating academic qualifications. When someone represents themselves as a scientist, the public may wrongly assume their claims are based on rigorous evidence rather than opinion or half understood material. In areas like psychology, where misunderstanding can have real world consequences, this can cause serious harm. It erodes trust in science. When pseudo experts inevitably promote flawed ideas or get caught making basic errors, it reflects not just on them, but on science as a whole. In the eye of the skeptical public, people begin to think science itself is unreliable or corrupt, when the real issue was the false appropriation of scientific credibility. It exposes a fundamental intellectual dishonesty. Pseudo killers called out fakery wherever it hides, claiming the title of scientist without having truly earned it as a form of intellectual dishonesty. It signals a willingness to misrepresent oneself, and if someone is willing to fudge their qualifications, why should anyone trust their arguments, evidence, or conclusions? Why it matters? In short, it matters because truth matters. Credentials exist for a reason. Science is not just a matter of knowing facts, it's a discipline, a method, a lifetime commitment to rigorous inquiry. If we let anyone with a bachelor's degree and a vague sense of authority parade as a scientist, we open the door wide to pseudoscience, public confusion, and the erosion of rational discourse. Educational requirements. Bachelor's degree versus research expertise. While a bachelor degree in psychology provides foundational knowledge, which you heard Ang say very clearly, I also say that, it does not in itself make someone a scientist. A scientist typically has advanced training, such as a master's or PhD, that includes specialized research experience, the ability to contribute original knowledge to the field, and deep familiarity with research methodologies. Master's or doctoral training. Becoming a full-fledged scientist requires deeper academic engagement, especially at the doctoral level, PhD or PsyD, where the focus is on producing new research, advancing theories, and contributing original findings to the scientific community. PhD, research focused. Scientists who work to develop theories, conduct independent research, and publish peer-reviewed work. A PsyD, applied clinical focus, can be considered an applied scientist in therapeutic and diagnostic roles, but is not heavily research-based as a PhD. The development of new knowledge and data. Research and data generation. The hallmark of being a scientist is the ability to generate new knowledge through empirical research. This includes formulating hypotheses based on existing theories, designing experiments or studies to test these hypotheses, analyzing data to draw meaningful conclusions. Scientific method. A scientist must apply the scientific method rigorously, with an emphasis on objectivity. You see here, the scientist must apply the scientific method. So not applying the scientific method makes you a scientist. No, that's a prerequisite of being a scientist. With the emphasis on objectivity, control conditions, reproducibility, and peer verification. A bachelor's holder in psychology may have limited expertise with this kind of research unless they have specifically pursued research-driven projects or internships during their undergraduate studies. Peer review process. Publishing in peer-reviewed journals, a critical step in becoming a recognized scientist, is having research reviewed and validated by other experts in the field. Peer-reviewed journals are the gold standard for scientific validation. Just tell me where to find your published work, and we wouldn't have this discussion. But going to the colloquial definition of what a scientist is, while establishing the fact that you have a bachelor's, isn't the standard. If someone with a bachelor's degree in psychology is not engaged in publishing peer-reviewed research, then they are not actively contributing to the academic scientific discourse in psychology. Lack of peer review. Claiming to be a scientist without the involvement in the production of peer-reviewed work undermines the credibility of the claim. Peer review ensures that research methods are sound, the data is reliable, and conclusions are supported by evidence. This is one of the key distinction between someone with a general interest in science and a professional scientist. I am often referred to as a scientist in the community, but you always hear me say, nope, I'm not doing research, I'm not publishing, I'm not a scientist. I apply the science that the scientists develop in practical settings. I do applied science. I'm not a scientist. There's no research, there's no peer review, there's no journals. Flaws in reasoning for the claim. Misunderstanding the role of a scientist. A common misunderstanding is that holding a degree in a scientific field automatically qualifies one as a scientist. The distinction is that science involves not only knowledge, but also the application of rigorous research methods to generate new knowledge. The moment you are not generating new knowledge or in the pursuit thereof by means of your hypothesis and testing, you are not in the scientific arena. Overgeneralization. You're not in the role of a scientist. Let me correct that. You're still within the realm of science, but you're not in the role of a scientist. Overgeneralization. The claim that a bachelor's qualifies someone as a scientist oversimplifies the reality of the science of scientific work. A true scientist must contribute to their field through original research publications and active engagement in advancing knowledge. Merely having a degree in a scientific field does not meet these criteria. Lack of practical experience. Even if the individual in question conducts experiments or engages in scientific inquiry, their lack of a substantial academic or professional track record in terms of research could suggest they are not yet functioning as a scientist. Science is a career path that typically requires years of study, application, and again, peer engagement. Let's continue. What is applied science in psychology? This is also PhD level. Applied psychology versus research psychology, both on the PhD level. Again, applied psychology focus on the use of psychological theories and finding to solve real-world problems, while research psychologists aim to understand the underlying principles of human behavior. Applied psychologists use that understanding to develop practical solutions in areas such as clinical psychology, counseling, industrial organizational psychology, health psychology, etc. This is at the bachelor's level. including the master's level. This is when you're applying what the researchers develop in your clinical setting. That's when you go to a patient and you do your counseling, etc., etc. It's based on the work that was executed by the PhDs and the masters in these fields. Role of applied science. In applied psychology, scientists often focus on clinical application, using research to diagnose, treat, and improve mental health outcomes. Educational setting, applying psychological principles to improve learning and teaching processes. Organizational psychology, developing strategies to improve workplace efficiency, employee well-being, and leadership. This is all applied psychology. Difference from basic science. Applied science in psychology bridges the gap between theoretical research and practical implication. However, when applied work requires rigorous scientific methods to ensure efficiency. So it is not exempt from the standards of the scientific method and peer review. You evaluate your work and you apply the scientific method. Still, you're not in the arena of research. You're doing the applied work. Don't confuse the two. Conclusion: lack of true academic background in the claim. Misleading use of the term scientist. The assertion that someone with a bachelor's in psychology is automatically a scientist is misleading, and that was clearly stated. While they may have a foundational understanding of the field, they lack the advanced educational research training and peer-reviewed contributions required to be considered a scientist in the traditional academic sense. In which other sense would there be? Development of new knowledge. I keep focusing on this aspect. Without involvement in original research or the publication of peer-reviewed work, claiming to be a scientist is a naive overstatement. Science is not just a title. It is a rigorous, systematic pursuit of knowledge that is validated through experimentation and scholarly discourse. That is what peer review process is. True academic development. A true academic scientist in psychology must engage deeply in ongoing research, apply the scientific method rigorously, and contribute to the field through peer-reviewed publication and participation in the scientific community. Handling critique. Science demands it. No excuses. When someone claims that the critique is intimidation, especially due to their gender, or that challenging their ideas amount to a personal attack, they are not defending science. They are abandoning it. Here's why the line of rebuttal is fundamentally flawed and logically invalid. Misusing identity as a shield, appeal to emotion, special pleading. It's a logical fallacy. Appeal to emotions, specifically victimhood appeal and special pleading. Let's explain. Claiming critique is intimidation because the individual is female shifts the discussion from the validity of the argument to the personal identity of the speaker. Why it feels science and academia are about critiquing ideas regardless of who presents them. The merit of a claim depends on evidence and reasoning, not personal characteristics. Weaponizing identity to deflect criticism is intellectually dishonest and derails the conversation from facts to feelings. Confusing critique of ideas with personal attack, that's a straw man fallacy. Straw man argument, the explanation. Recasting legitimate criticism of a claim as an attack on a person is a classic straw man move. Misrepresenting an argument to make it easier to dismiss. Critiquing someone's misuse of the title scientist or challenging their argument is not an attack on their worth as a human being. It is an evaluation of their claims. In real academia, having your ideas ripped apart and rebuilt is part of how you become a better thinker and contributor.
Say that
If you,
again, please.
in real academia, having your ideas ripped apart and rebuilt is part of how you become a better thinker and contributor. If you can't distinguish between critique and attack, you don't belong in serious scientific discourse. Now, this is not me stating that you shouldn't be in, but it's an evaluation point that you will have to engage in. Because if this is your approach to critique, then you're in the wrong environment. So think about that. Let's continue.
That's the
Dodging
point.
the argument, red herring fallacy. Explanation: bringing up gender or perceived personal attack as a defense is a deliberate distraction from the actual argument. It's the claim that a bachelor's makes someone a scientist valid. Introducing irrelevant emotional or identity-based topics dodges the point. In academia and scientific discussions, only the arguments and its evidence matters. Revealing a lack of academic maturity. True academic culture in academia, critique is survival. Peer reviewers, colleagues, conferences, and journal editors tear apart your work. And that's expected. If someone responds emotionally or defensively to basic, pointed critique, it exposes their lack of experience in genuine scholarly environments. Why it matters? Real academic understanding that ideas must be stress tested, thorough through critique to become to improve and be validated. Thin skin in the face of critique is a sign of being an amateur, not a professional. Undermining scientific integrity. Why it's dangerous. If criticism is silenced by emotional appeals, then science becomes a matter of who feels offended and not what can be demonstrated and verified. That's not science. That's politics, activism, or social dynamics. All very different arenas from rigorous empirical inquiry. So let's sum it up. In serious academic and scientific context, critique is a form of respect, not aggression. Identity is irrelevant to the truth of the claim. Feelings are not evidence. Emotional appeals are not arguments. Deflecting with victimhood tactics reveals a shallow understanding of how science operates. If you can't stand having your ideas challenged, if you equate critique with attack, you are not behaving like a scientist, no matter what degree you hold. That's the last I say about that subject.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
and you're right, bro. Like around here, bro, if you say something to somebody, they start all kind of word salad and back and forth in it and all that and playing the games. Like, you know what I mean? And it's crazy to me, bro. Like, I never understand that, man. I never understand that. So you can't even critique nobody around here. Right. And my point is, yo, we do this shit for real, dog. Right. So we clearly understand that there are scientists that believe in God. There's no question in that, right? And then we understand that the scientists that play at the highest level, right, they ain't believing none of the stories that come along with that. I'm saying the high academic rigor, no, they don't, right? And we know this because we read certain books by Dawkins. Matter of fact, it's the book, the interview he did. Let's see, it was Dawkins and Neil deGrasse Tyson, and they actually had a conversation about that very thing, right? They gave these stats on the amount of scientists that believe in God, and they gave the percentages, And then they went on to talk about how, where is that book at? Then they went on to talk about how at the highest academic level, you know what I'm saying, that's when it really dropped off, right? Where they just not believing in God at all. So, but that's not the conversation. The conversation is, yo, can we give each other critique? This community is anti-critique. And there's a reason for that. Because they're tied to what the hell they talking about. It's personal. As if they're actually doing the primary research and coming up with these ideas. Only thing we've ever done over here is to follow in the footsteps of the giants, pushing towards scientific literacy. We got actual programs doing that with sisters, young ladies, getting them interested in science, right? STEAM, right? Big up the conscious ingenuity too. Let me put one of them programs in there for y'all while y'all just sitting back. Let me see. Let me see if I got this. Let's see. Hold on, real quick. And I should have had this up. I got you. Here you go. Right. I'm show you what we're doing. Where everybody playing and acting like they doing something. We ain't playing over here. Yeah. We support the babies, males and females. We understand marginalized communities. We understand the sisters being marginalized. Hey, Juju, share my screen. So, here you go. Pick up the Dr. Oyamaya, Dr. Bailey, the beef for certain. Okay? Big up the conscious ingenuity, building character, confidence, and capabilities through STEM. See, this is what we're doing here. Okay? Conscious ingenuity is a KA program that utilizes STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, agriculture, and mathematics to build character, confidence, and capabilities. The program aims to cultivate generations of STEAM professionals who are rooted in culture, connected to community, and effective in creating change. That's what we're doing. You can't affect change in our community playing doctor, playing scientist, playing foolery. This community is full of people that play. So if you're really trying to get your thing off, pull that thing out. Oh, this is school I went to. I went to this school and I did this. That's something to be proud of around here because most people don't even respect education around here. This is one daggone channel that I can speak of that respect education. 2-year degrees, 4-year degrees, 8-year degrees. We respect degrees, right? Matter of fact, for a long time, we was one of the only channels that did that. Like, I'm tripping. I'm glad to see everybody. I'm glad to have a fight over whether your credentials is what they say they are. That's good. That's a move forward in this community. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't take it personal, right? When I'm talking about a scientist, I'm talking about somebody with at least a master's degree and a doctorate degree that's actually putting forth research, right? You know what I mean? I ain't even trying to get slick. I ain't gonna whip out none of mine. I ain't gonna whip out none of my stuff because I'm good with it. What I won't have, right, is any woman or any male, right? Because it was definitely some males in that panel running their mouth, talk a little bit too much about how we treat women. Now, I don't know, Cedric, you know what's that guy name? What's his name, Cedric?
That was
Do you know him?
Pandemus. That's
Yeah,
Pandemus.
all right. Hey, Pandemus, you couldn't have been talking about me. Now I'm saying names. You could not have been talking about me. Couldn't have been. If you've been watching all of you know I advocate for women. Now I don't advocate pseudo women with the yanni beads and all that foolery. I ain't doing that. And traveling through space and the cosmic egg and the cosmic womb. I ain't doing all that. I think women are powerful enough with all of that pseudoisms and the melanin childs. And I'm not doing it. Now that I'm not doing. I'm going straight education, straight examples, right? Because we got them all around us. All right. And we appreciate that. And I appreciate talking to sisters when I go to Morgan State University and talk to the classes and tell them about STEM and the importance of Black women being in STEM. So I don't know. I think some things need to get fixed before it get out of hand. right? Like I said, I appreciate the platform you on. And it is what it is. But all that, get that. Just say I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to what a scientist is. Say that, but don't try to play it with or partner it with. I don't respect the women. That's crazy for me. That's my point. So where we at? We talking about the astrology, astronomy, what? Yeah, I heard somebody wanted. I heard the great doctor wanted to debate you on it.
First of all, I'm not gonna go back and forth with nobody in no private chat. This is definitely about the information. There are a lot of people in the community, not just one or two people. A lot of people in the community that think this. Okay, so we are always addressing the information. We're not attacking anybody. You can't play the victim when you've made disrespectful comments about people, right? I'm a pseudo killer. I'm loyal to the pseudo killers first. I'm loyal to Bobby Banger. I think everybody knows that. So, I've always I've been stayed clear, but we are going to proceed with correcting the misinformation. But if you have anything to say, good or bad, I'm putting a link in the chat. Y'all welcome to come on the panel. Y'all ain't gotta stay in the chat and be chatty patty. Y'all can come on the panel. We don't mind people that disagree with us. We don't.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's not an issue. We don't care if you don't like us. We don't care what you think. Most people who think a certain way, are pseudo anyway. They way out there. They ain't even on the college campus. They don't know nothing about what it is to be on the college campus or go through that. So never. I'm not even with that. But yeah, it is what it is.
Did you share my screen for a sec, if you don't mind? This is I'm gonna do a. I'm sorry.
Start it.
There you go. There it is. I just want to do a little promotion. Coming up this week, our series continues. We got soul versus spirit, so stay tuned. Splitting itself in scripture. Stay tuned to the promotion. It's coming to you sometime this week. Of course, my executive producer, the lead, the captain of the pseudo killer ship, my boss Juju, will have to determine when that is going to be scheduled. But I'm just letting you know. You see it already. Stay tuned to the next installment of Deconstructing the Divine. So that's my little plug.
Hey, but ain't that crazy? You know what I just thought of, man? You got Sister Tiffany. You got Juju. Man, they lead the damn way. You got the sisters and the pseudo killer army. They lead the damn way on the pseudo killers. Ain't nothing shaking without the sisters. We ain't running wild without getting checked. Man, it was the sisters that first took up for you. It's crazy as hell around here, man. Right. You better not talk to them. I mean, they actually was like, hold on, yo, make sure I don't like the way you started that off. But man, come on, man. This is crazy, bro. Like, yeah, you gotta take that back, Shorty. I'll fight you for that one. Yeah, I'll fight you for that one. That's something I'm gonna stand on. I ain't fighting for the crazy doctor. You'd never convince me about the whole degree doctor thing. Yeah, so we ain't worth us talking about. But that woman thing, yo, yeah, I'm up for that. I got daughters, yo. I'm definitely up for that. All day. Yeah, I'll fight you on that.
So I think that some of those things were uncalled for because I don't remember you doing any ad hominems towards her. So it could have been like left strictly to the information. But when you start getting to the ad hominems, you want to get personal. You can't play the victim though. You cannot do that. That's not how that works. It's not how that works. That's literally. You want the smoke? You got the smoke. What is it? I don't get it. But I've invited everybody to the panel. Anybody, because I was a part of that woman's group, right? Because I love what DMG was saying, and I love those ladies over there. I don't agree with everything. I'm gonna say this here live. I don't agree with everything, but I don't go out the way to bash y'all. And it's not about that. But when certain things are said in a particular environment, we have to address that. We're the pseudo killers. That's what we do. I don't understand what's the problem. We're gonna do that, and I'm not going to pick and choose. Like we done got on Kyle before, about some things we didn't quite agree. You think he was all whatever? No, this is like everybody. I done been critiqued and corrected many times. I'm not the smartest person in the room.
Black Egypt. I got the Black
know,
Egypt
I
sweat
don't, I
out
don't
of
get
me.
this, but this is not a personal attack on anybody, bro.
They doing
And
it
if
on purpose
you're
though.
a scientist, you are able
On
to
purpose,
take
yo.
critique. What, Bobby?
I said she doing it on purpose. I just think
It
she
is
want
whatever,
she
but
want to
I
get her
don't
views
have.
up.
So my
I don't
thing is,
mind.
I mentor and I critique young people, and I buy tools and instruments to help when I'm trying to guide them on a certain thought pattern. One of those tools I buy is a merge cube. If you have children, go get the merge cube. It's pretty awesome. Okay. Another thing that we're gonna do, part of pseudo killers and abjuware is do these shirts that say like I'm a future quantum physicist. I'm a future science, right? To help gauge their thought patterns, to help, push them towards the future, what they really can do. So, like, we do this in real life. We just don't sit on social media and do this. I'll be in Gambia, doing some stuff. So, yeah, don't get it twisted. We do stuff. We're gonna be at should I say we're gonna be at Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's gonna be at the Lyric in Baltimore. Y'all better get y'all tickets. We already got the
And
the, the
join us.
fourth row. The fourth row is ours. Okay. By like
Gonna be
15.
there. We're gonna make a t-shirt. I ain't a scientist yet.
Yeah. So what
I'm
we're gonna
working
do is hear
towards being a
what the
scientist. I've
Bobby,
been on
I'm
the
not
side
gonna
of the
let you.
TV.
I'm not gonna play with you. But we actually gonna hear what the scientists have to say. What we do is we communicate what the scientists have to say. Bobby
Yeah, I'm
Banger never
communicating.
said anything about he was a scientist.
Nah,
Sinetta
for
just
what?
blatantly lied. Sorry,
Yeah, he was
Sinetta.
playing.
I
Yeah, he
have
was
to say
playing.
that because it's the facts.
Yeah, he was
He's
playing,
never
yo.
said that. I think he was saying it because he wanted to make you feel good or whatever. I don't know, but that's not what that is.
Yeah,
That's
come
not
on,
what we
y'all. I
do.
don't need to be. I would love to be.
Yeah,
Tiff, you gotta say something.
Yeah, I'm ready to get in now.
go
So,
ahead,
Go
sis.
ahead.
can y'all hear me okay? Because I don't know.
Huh?
Anyway, it looks like y'all can. Y'all can hear me all right? I don't need to turn my mic up.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you. Turn it up a bit though, if you can.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have my microphone hooked up, so I'm on my computer. Do I just turn up the thing on the computer?
No, you good. We can hear you though.
It's been a long
You
day.
good?
I'm not on camera. I literally just got in work. But anyway, so I would just say that yeah, Ankh is right. I'm usually the one who I don't know how they like to describe me or whatnot, but I have no problem with pointing out things that I find problematic. So I definitely was telling Ankh I thought you came off too aggressive. Um, when you were talking to the sister, being that it was the first time you spoke to her. So I'm not surprised where we are now. I kind of knew this is where it was going to go. I just hope that the opportunity will present itself for a dialogue to occur. That would be nice. And yeah, it's challenging in this space because we've all been attacked as women on one shape, form, or fashion. So I empathize with that. But I don't think that was Brother Ankh's intention to make you feel attacked. Sometimes he's just, he can be like a bull in a china shop and not realize that sometimes pulling back is probably the better thing. But at the end of the day, yeah, PK and community acceptance are known for dealing with things from a more, evidence-based criteria, more so than our colleagues in the rest of the community. So that's kind of what PK, God Killer, Community Skeptic is known for. But we don't want it to get personal. I would love to see a conversation dialogue with Dr. Too Sweet and the God Killer or whomever else. I know you're scheduled to
Say it louder. Say it louder for her because
Yeah,
She in the chat talking shit though. She definitely in that chat talking shit though.
no, don't do that.
She talking shit though. That's my point. And she been talking shit from day one. I just ain't, I'm saying? I just been a nice guy. I don't be talking shit like that. Whatever. So I'm saying 8 to 80 blind, cripple, or crazy. Anyone can get it. We ain't doing nothing but talk about science. That's what it is. Come on, man. She don't gotta talk shit though. She can hit that link and make her case. And it's all good.
And I said my
Come
part.
on, yo.
Now, whatever happens after that, obviously I all I can do is say that he is right. That the sisters in our group will usually speak on things if we find it a little out of order. So I'm not afraid to say that here and in front of y'all.
Facts.
Yeah, that's what it was. So, but yeah, when it comes to what a scientist is and not, I mean that's one of them conversations I think think will be good for just educating the audience at large. But I think there
Right.
was a comment made that if I have a bachelor's, a BS, a bachelor's in science is a degree that makes me a scientist. I know there were other things said too, but I was like, that's interesting because I had never heard that before. So I'd love to hear more about that, and I also would love to learn about some of the research, and if you've done any papers or anything
Facts.
like that, if you've been published, I would love
We
to look
support
at that.
that.
And the stuff that I do, my day-to-day work, I deal with um, you know, peer reviews and evidence-based. That's the kind of stuff I kind of deal with on a daily basis. So I do find it interesting and would love to hear more, to learn more.
Right. We love to get that DOI number. We want to read up to it. Because, see, in the scientific world, most scientists are transparent about what they do, about their research. It's not any type of gatekeeping.
Let
Yeah.
me
You
say
know?
this. Miss Tiff is being extra gentle now because one time she tore me to shreds to the point that I literally cried. Okay? So if you talk about respect, that's why it hurts so much to have the notion that we attack based on gender or are intimidated. Why? I answer to these two ladies. I look for their approval. We walk a thin line because of the format created by these two ladies that lead the pseudo killers. Why would our intent be to attack
Yeah.
a female based on gender? That is attacking
Crazy.
the core of our
Core
being
character.
almost,
Yeah.
right? Like we can have the and no love lost. Doc, too sweet.
Right.
We will have our debate. This was a conversation that was necessary and in an academic setting. So my status in terms of my relationship with you hasn't diminished or hasn't changed. There is no animosity. That's never going to be the case. But this intervention, this lesson was necessary.
It was an intervention.
Yeah,
It
it's
wasn't.
an
And the intervention is because we got. It's dangerous, yo, when you try to sound like a damn scientist and really not that. There's too many of that coming from the males, yo. So it's extra dangerous when the women start that. I'm telling you, bro. Man, look at Dulcinea. She be tripping, right? Act like she know all that craziness, bro. Like that's it's dangerous, yo. And it ain't nothing personal. It's just business, yo. I'm never sitting on a panel and a person act like they're a scientist around. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. You're not gonna act like because you read Meta Nature, you understand the history of the ancient Nile Valley, right? You're not gonna act like you supersede the experts. I'm not doing none of that, bro. Been through too much in this community to sit back and let people get dragged down the daggone rabbit hole. It's just crazy, bro. Yeah. So if a person over there thinking they get some attention because of something slick they said, I'm saying the very item that they're mispromoting is what we're talking about. Because there's been a lot of men that came before the women that was on that track of foolery. So when we hear it, we just address it, yo. It was looking for something to address anyway. That's what we do. We address it. Simple as that. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Ain't need to change it now. So that's respect right there. Simple as that. So look, it
Oh
ain't look.
boy.
We dropped that daggone link though.
I did already. Nobody
I
didn't.
want to read the chat. I like to read the chat. I
Yeah,
want to
let me
read.
let me say this. Let me say
Let
this,
me.
Bob.
I want to read the
No,
chat.
wait,
Go ahead.
chill. Let me say this. So I don't know if some people understand this. I understand this. Um, you don't always I know this is weird. And everybody can't do this. This is a select few. But Bobby Banger, I'm telling you business, has been told by some very, very reputable PhDs that he could possibly, like, it's possible to get a degree and not go through the whole basis of college because you already have that knowledge base. I don't know if some people understand that, but I'm aware of that, okay? And if there are PhDs that will sign off on you, you can actually get a PhD by just writing a paper because you already have the knowledge base. So while people will sit here and say this man didn't go to school, he don't got no degree, da da da, he's very well knowledgeable than most people that have degrees. And the PhDs that he has talked to agree with him.
And yet again, a non sequitur.
Secondly,
Because
let me finish. I'll let you go, Cedric. Secondly, Bobby Banger is also published in a scientific journal. If that's not a credential, I don't know what is. We weren't
I
here to
mean,
attack anybody, but we can. We can. Some attacks can happen. That's
I
not what
ain't
we're
gonna
trying
bring
to
that
do,
up.
though.
You
So
know,
I
I
don't
don't even bring that
understand
up, though.
why instead of just coming on the panel having the discussion, because Miss Tiffany actually wanted to see a discussion with Doc Too Sweet and Bobby Banger, a very cordial one. That's what we want. Because this is not supposed to be a divide and conquer. As Black people, we don't need no more of that. But if you think
absolutely.
we're just gonna let you ride with misinformation, that's not cool, bro.
I thought
That's
we
not.
was on the
You
same
should be.
page.
You should be. You people in general should be willing to be for correction. It's a form of humbleness. Anything else would be deemed a little bit arrogant and narcissistic. And I don't think that you're that type of person. So please don't be in the chat doing that. Like that's crazy. Don't do that.
You know what's funny? I got credentials for what I do.
Exactly.
See,
Exactly.
for what I do, I'm qualified. Look me up, right? You can read some of my work online. All right. I'm advocating for Africans and African Americans in STEM. Read the paper. You might learn something. All right.
Right.
So, you know, for what I do, I'm qualified. I'm qualified to be a science advocate. Put my name in the search engine and ask them, is he a science advocate? While you at it, put Chief X name in there. Start putting your favorite character's name in there. Just see what come up. Yeah, that's all you gotta do. Do that. Do that. Find your local chat GPT and start putting people's name in there and see what I'm qualified to do. I'm definitely qualified to have an intelligent conversation with experts on terms of evolution, science, Nile Valley, right? I can talk to experts and have a great conversation, right? Absolutely qualified to do that at least, right? And I ain't howling and screaming what I got, what I don't got. As a matter of fact, the funny part about it is that the conversation didn't even warrant that. So I find it funny that a scientist would be on YouTube arguing with me. That's the thing that get me the most. Why in the hell would a scientist be on YouTube arguing with me? Why? That don't even make no sense for a scientist on YouTube arguing with me or debating with me over whether they're scientists or not. Your credentials would speak for themselves. So I ain't never heard scientists and astro projection in the same damn sentence, never. And the fact that you don't know the difference between a person talking about astral projection and a person religion is real wild to me. Scientists would make that mistake. Now, I know of 2 people that got master's degrees in psychology. Don't get me started. Right. With specialties. Don't get me started. Don't make me pull out the DMS. Don't make me do all that.
Hold on, don't. I don't know if one of those people is one of our favorites. You know who one of our favorites is? The psychiatrist that I've been saying. We need to get him on here to deal with
No, it's more
the
personal than that,
DSM.
Miss
Well,
Tiffany.
but it's
What
important.
was you talking about?
I'm talking
It's
about
more personal than that, Miss Tiffany.
no,
It
but
is.
I think
Talking
yeah,
about who? Who, Mr.?
Andy.
We ain't even bringing them up. We ain't bring.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
talked to Andy the other day too. He was like,
Yeah, I love Dr.
"Oh
Andy.
no,
So
we don't be
cool.
doing." He was like, "Oh no,
oh yeah,
I don't be
we
doing
have
that."
to deal with the
He said,
the
"I don't
challenges
know."
of the DSM. That's
Yeah,
what we got to get up here.
yeah, we gotta get him. We gotta get Dr. Andy up here. Yep. Yeah, we get him up here and let's talk about some of that stuff
Is
because
he
you
an
know you want to talk about
evolutionary
that.
psychologist? Is that his training? His background is evolutionary
He's
psychology.
an evolutionary
And
psychologist.
he's a psychiatrist by trade.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Hmm.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I will say this.
Mhm.
We're dealing with information, so I don't need nobody in the chat, saying any disparaging remarks about Doc Too Sweet or any of that.
Yeah,
Because it
Yeah, yeah.
wasn't
Don't say
about
nothing
her,
disparaging about
it's about
Shorty.
the information. Okay. Let her do what she do. Okay. Because she's feeling attacked. So please don't add on to that. Please don't do that. Because I respect the sister.
that's
So
not the idea of this. Again, it was a necessary intervention to put clarity out there because of the misinformation. When you put up the colloquial definition of scientist, you're not being academically honest, right? Because yes, that is what a scientist does, but there's a lot more that goes with that. There's
Yeah.
academic rigor. You're talking about masters and PhD. You're talking about contributing new knowledge
Yeah.
to the body of knowledge that we share as humanity. That requires publications, peer review work, and it requires you having being specialized. If that was the case, you would have stated, well, I'm a specialist in this and this, and I'm doing research on that and that. This is my hypothesis. I'm so far along, and this is what the research is looking like. That is the type of dialogue that you expect to hear from this level, from that claim. When you claim to
yeah,
be a scientist,
agree.
again, as I read, and I keep stating, and it's now in black and white. I do applied science. That's what I do all day. On calls, and I'm on the phone, and he take, what you talking about? Yeah, hypochlorite. Does it mean I'm a scientist? Does it mean I'm adding new work? No. Colloquially, people refer to me as the scientist, the science guy, because he's in
Yeah,
chemistry.
colloquially. Yeah, colloquially.
But I'm
Absolutely.
not a scientist. So
Yeah, levels to it.
in if you are being honest to your level of credentials, if you're being honest to the conversation, if you respect science, you would not make that claim and double down on it, right? You double down on it. You insist that that is the case, and then you proceed to
Don't talk about
undermine
anything we don't know as a public, though, Cedric. Let's not
the
dirty
pseudo
it
killer.
down.
No, that was done on the platform. And then you go
Oh,
to undermine
okay.
the character of the pseudo killers, claiming that we are
Yeah,
attacking
right. That
your
that
your
part.
your your
Um,
identity. That's disingenuous. And now again in the chat, you're talking about not having credentials. That's a non sequitur and not dealing with the issue at hand, which is your claim to be a scientist. And in this community, it is essential that we hammer that shit out and make it clear.
Yeah, you
yeah.
got to. I'm
Um,
definitely qualified to talk to the YouTube audience on what I talk about in
facts.
advocating science. I'm definitely qualified for that, yo. Got about 25 years into this one right here. Plenty of interviews with experts, so I could do that real well. Yep. Okay.
I want you done,
Kick
Bobby? I'm
kick door
sorry.
low. Yeah, I'm finished.
I wanted to say this real quick. So, somebody was worried that, she came on a panel, she'll be
But who
outnumbered.
is coffee and culture though?
And I let me finish. Leave them people alone. They idiots. Okay,
I'm
for
doing it
real.
on purpose. You know I'm doing the
I know.
idiot
I know.
thing.
I said it.
A coffee and a coffee and culture. You a pseudo. Now, now I ain't that damn old to know you a pseudo, a flaming pseudo. Yeah, bring
Um,
the pseudo army over here. Come hither. Yeah,
they funny in the chat though.
yeah. Come
Y'all
hither.
stop. But still, for real, for real, for
Yeah,
real.
a kick door
Um,
low. It's on. It's on and popping
God, leave.
with the fake army around her. It's on. It's definitely on and popping.
Yo,
We can
that's
get it
funny.
popping. We
Oh
used
my
to beating the
God.
hell out of pseudos.
I'm
That's
not.
easy work. Yeah,
I'm
say
gonna keep
something
it cute.
intelligent.
I'm gonna
We
keep it
old
cute.
and cooked. Nigga,
However,
the scientists, what you talking about? The scientists range in ages. How about that?
God,
Now,
leave.
matter of fact, the older
Um,
you are, the more wisdom and knowledge you end up having in such
yeah.
fields.
It's that African
Yeah.
proverb. Every time an elder dies, a library dies with them. Anyway,
Yeah, we're gonna burn the
um, if
library
if
down.
if Dr. Two Sweet had gotten on the panel, all of us would not have stayed. I only would have allowed Bobby Banger and Miss Tiffany, because she's an excellent moderator, okay, to have stayed on the panel, just to let y'all know. We would not have done it like that. All right. And if Doc Too Sweet wanted to bring somebody with her, a couple people, we will allow that. So don't think we all gonna sit on this panel and just be bombarding her. It's not going to be like that. And we probably won't do it here.
No, I want coffee and culture. Hit the damn link, coffee and culture.
If you consider doing that, we will set it up. We could probably
Link.
set up on DMG's channel and do that. She don't want to be on pseudo killers because she think it will be biased. But the conversation needs to happen. It doesn't need to be a divide, but the disrespect must end. It doesn't need to be disrespect. Okay. And that disrespect started with her, not us. That's the facts.
Right. Get out of here with
that.
Well, I'm gonna say, because I said earlier today, y'all know me, I'm gonna stand my ground. I knew that we were gonna end up here because I felt like Conk was a little aggressive when he first hit the panel.
Well, let's play the tape and talk to me to death.
I won't everything. Let me finish.
I'm playing. No, go ahead and finish.
I feel like everything has a reaction. Everything there's a chain reaction to everything that happens. You don't gotta cut me off because I'm not talking that much. But I'm just
talking. My fault. I thought I was muted.
Throw you in the back, Bobby. God.
No, I said my fault. I thought my mic was muted. Hold on. I want to get the video and play the tape.
Make sure you muted, so we don't have to act. So we don't have to wonder. But yeah, so I kind of think, it was a natural chain of events. Now, I'm not saying that something may not have happened otherwise, but I'm saying how things played out. I'm not surprised we're here right now. That's all I'm saying. Because when you're in a community, you're dealing with everybody's personality, and everybody has a different personality. And sometimes we miss the mark, and how we engage one another. So, so how we engage one another can, have some repercussions, a few days later. It is what it is. It doesn't mean that that was your intention for it to go down that way. That's just how it went. And then so I think, if there's an opportunity to course correct, then I'm all for it. That's all I want to say.
Somebody say you don't have to have a degree to be a scientist.
I'm not course correcting with no damn pseudo. Y'all got me fucked up over here. Y'all tripping.
See what I got to deal with.
Right, y'all tripping, yo. I ain't sitting around doing course correcting.
Language.
Hide that, sir. But it's cool.
And watch your language, bro. You on pseudo killers.
Important to offer.
Talking about some course correct. Course correct. What course would that be? Course in pseudoisms?
Another, this. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be good.
Come on, man. Hold on. No. To be real. No, to be real. Check this out. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
In this community. Hold on. I'm gonna say that.
No, I'm gonna keep it a buck though. Nobody wouldn't even responded to me like that though, Miss Tiff, if they wasn't a pseudo. Let's keep it a real, man. Think about that though, yo.
You approached it in the beginning.
No. I didn't approach that loud. We're gonna see how I approach it. Come on, we're gonna see.
On that.
I know you got the affinity for the sisters. You supposed to. I ain't mad at you.
I have affinity to what I listen. You said the same thing. If it's a brother, you can't say, "Oh, I know you have an affinity to the brother."
To the brother. Take it for the brothers like that.
Right now, that you always try to clown me with.
Hey, you take up for Kyle too. You definitely take up for Kyle.
So it's not about gender. It's just about what I see.
You go a little, it's like slightly. I'm gonna play it. What channel was on? Sun at the Studios, right?
Somebody said, "Watch the language, please, Bobby."
I apologize. My fault.
Golly.
My fault. What the hell?
But so do we have to address the claim that somebody made a claim that you don't have to have a degree to be a scientist?
Man, whatever, man. You can just dive outside and start observing shit. Get out of here, man. It's just stupid.
Oh God, y'all is funny in this conscious community.
Man, you don't gotta have a degree now.
Yeah, no, academic rigor is important. That's the difference. If you don't have the academic rigor, you can say what you want in your head. That doesn't make it in real life. Sorry. And you're gonna miss something because there's steps. So you're gonna mess up or miss some steps. Just know that. But go ahead. Y'all go out. Y'all play with that.
Can I add this to the conversation?
I'll get another video done on you, Kyle, but go ahead.
You say you did what now?
Hold on. They're about to get mad, but I think it would be cool to have a presentation. Maybe Cedric can do it. I don't know if it's something he's interested in, on the spectrum of, the different types of science. I think that'd be cool, so that we can, educate, take an opportunity.
I get that. I ain't mad at you for that, Miss Tiffany. That makes sense because, again, this wasn't an attack on one person. Obviously, there's some confusion. Okay,
yeah. So
confusion in this space we're in, and we're trying to correct that because that's not correct and it's not logical.
Right, outright lying. Ain't nobody attack nobody. That's crazy as shit, man.
Did y'all drop the link or y'all don't want the link
We
dropped?
sitting
I
there
dropped
talking
the
about
link so many times. How you think Kyle got on here?
I know.
Hey,
I'm
go ahead, Kyle.
I dropped the
Hey,
link
somebody
one
make it make
time.
sense though. Come
Well,
on,
Kyle
dog.
okay.
has something to say, so
Make
let's
that make sense. Kyle, did you listen to the
let-
show first though?
Yes, I did listen to the show from the
Hold on,
beginning.
Kyle. Do you know what we was talking about? And somebody threw their credentials at me though. We was talking about astral projecting, yo.
I understand, and I'm with you on that aspect. So, but the holistic statement that you can't be a scientist unless you have a master's degree, that's a fallacious claim.
Put some money on it.
We
I
didn't say
will.
that. Did we say that?
No,
I
that
specifically said in the chat.
that's why I came up here because I heard that being
An
said.
expert, yo.
I
See?
specifically said in the
Hold
chat.
on. Hey, are you sure, Kyle?
It
Because
was
you can
said
be
I
an
that
am.
someone,
expert.
wait, don't conflate it. It was said that someone was a scientist because they have a bachelor's in science. That's what
Right.
we
You ain't know
addressed.
that though, Kyle?
That's what we addressed, Kyle. So what are you saying?
No, I think I could have sworn it
No,
said
that's
master.
all.
Y'all
No,
said
I
masters.
Nah,
said someone
man.
said there was a scientist because they have a bachelor's of science degree, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
and so that would be the foundation, right? Let's just
Right.
start there and work, right? So your
Yes.
foundation, if you get your bachelor's degree and then you go into the field and you work and you do practical experiments and you test it and you in the labs, you got white papers that you submit and stuff like that. You don't have to have a master's degree to be an expert in the field. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I disagree. And I'm saying, why would you do that and not get your master's? You get that
Yeah,
though?
there's not
If
another
No,
yeah,
you
no,
get that
no,
right,
no,
yo?
no.
yeah, they didn't have
I understand
expertise
what
on a
you are
No,
bachelor's
saying.
level.
no, Kyle, hold on. Think about what I'm saying though. You get your bachelor's in science, right? You're working in the field, right? Now you're working towards your master's degree. Okay? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing.
No,
You're not just sitting there.
no. It's not though. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
Ah,
like,
nah. What you talking
it,
about then? What you
so
talking about, yo?
in a lot of spaces, like for instance, people that do
Name of
like
space.
PFAS, like I'm sure, have y'all heard of PFAS and like
Who?
biochemical stuff like that? So the water filtration and stuff like that, and people who in the tech field
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
doing that. He do that. Cedric do
Applied
that. Go ahead.
science. Applied science.
Yeah, go
Not
ahead.
science. Applied.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
That's what you call applied science. So I
Yeah,
can get in a lab. I run
yeah.
serology machines. I take bloods. I do all the tests.
You
Boom,
ain't
boom.
talking
I
that.
can tell you what your HB1C is. I can tell you what your PSA is, your TSA. I do all that. I am doing applied science,
I
even
under,
in the
but
definition
you,
of the
Nigga
but
sent
training.
to a high
It's
school, yo.
I
Wait a minute, I'm gonna
literally
interrupt.
applied
work.
I'm
science.
gonna interrupt.
I work with people.
Wait. Before you go further, did you watch Cedric's presentation? Because like, why would we rehash the stuff that Cedric
No,
just talked
I
about?
probably watched like the
Because
last
a lot of
5 minutes.
people
I'm
are
not gonna
gonna
sit here and
say, "Oh
say I
yeah, the
watched the
mix
whole
is
thing.
scientist," but no, that's applied science. That's different. We're talking about you equating yourself to Neil deGrasse Tyson or
To an
Dr. Maya.
expert, yo. Come on, yo. We ain't doing all
That's
that.
crazy, bro.
An
Come on,
expert, yo.
let's not muddy the waters.
The reason why
Now
I'm
let me
saying that,
continue.
right?
Let me continue. Let me continue.
Well,
So with
I'm gonna
I
let
would
him.
like to continue
Let him
too.
finish. Let him finish.
So, like in a lot of fields, in right now in 2025, and I know we come from an older generation. A lot of these fields do not require master's degrees to become experts in the field to lead the field. It requires certification. It requires hours and stuff like
Doing a
that
different
in the field,
conversation, yo.
huh?
That's a whole. Come on, yo. Why
I'm
you
about
doing
to
that?
go
No.
LinkedIn.
I'm
I'm
okay.
about to
Well,
go LinkedIn for some
I'll bow out then because like
scientists.
Yeah, yo. You talking about what you do? You need certain. Right. That's you.
no, I'm
Right.
talking about like the people like it's
What?
multiple fields.
In
Like I'm
evolution,
not
yo.
talking
In
about like
evolution.
doctors.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
talking
talking
about
about like
evolution.
doctors.
But that's what we talking about, though. That's we talking about like in evolution. We talking about in psychology. We talking about the level shit, the hard science. That's what we talking about. We not talking about what you talking about, Kyle. I swear, yo, because you right with that statement. You get it? We ain't talking about that, yo. We talking about an expert, yo. You know what I mean? Like depth of expertise. Remember that book? We talking about that, yo. We ain't talking about. Come on, yo.
Yeah,
so,
that's why I think clarity in the
even on
conversation.
Yeah,
a
we ain't
bachelor
talking
level,
Ali Muhammad, yo. He said he
No,
had a bachelor's in science. You could be a gym teacher with a bachelor's of science, yo. As a
but
matter of
let,
fact,
let
yo,
me, but
you're a school teacher, yo. You can
but
teach
that's
psychology in school, a school
yeah,
teacher
but
for that. Yo, you
that's
need
why
more
I
than that,
came
yo.
up here because
How
the
you
statement
explain it.
itself is not a blanket statement
So,
that covers all fields.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if you
so,
Right.
want to talk about a specific field,
Yeah, we talking about
then yes,
specific field. That's what we talking about,
okay,
specific
and
field.
that's cool.
so,
Just
so again,
name those fields that require you to have a master's degree to be an expert and stuff like that. Then that's
so you,
cool. And that's all I'm saying. So I
so,
bow. Y'all
so
have a
you,
great night.
yeah,
No, Misael, you know,
you need to watch the
let me say
presentation because
I'm gonna stay for Miss Tiffany.
we was
Don't
very
stay.
specific, very specific about we were very specific about
Not
the
don't
areas.
say. Kyle,
You know you my homeboy.
well, let,
I already know what you was gonna do.
Bobby Banks,
Muddy
we
the
getting
waters.
wild on the panel. Can we get some order, please?
Yeah, yeah, we done. Go ahead.
Cedric speaking, then Ghoul, 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 Ghoul speaks.
So we were actually being very specific about the fields of study that we're talking about, right? And it's a certain branch of academia. Now, even at the bachelor's level, you can be part of a research team. During my internship, I did two actual research projects. I worked on the COX-2 enzyme. I developed a staining for that, where I did oncology, and I did the whole extraction of colon tissue, did the slides, and I prepared a staining. I was doing a task on a whole research, right? I was working on the as part of the research team for the scientists. You hear how I say that? I was part of the research team doing my little component, writing my little paper as part of the complete research team on the two scientists. So yes, you can have a bachelor's degree and be working in research, but that doesn't make you the researcher. That doesn't make you the scientist. You start to do that. You start to write a dissertation and write proposals at the point that you are a PhD. You have now become a specialist and you're conducting research in this particular area. Your credentials are absolutely valid and required, right? As a matter of fact, you can't even do certain research unless you're adopted by another PhD who is going to sign and stand guarantor for your thesis. If you don't find someone to stand guarantor for your thesis, you might not even be able to get your PhD. Right? So again, once you're not contributing new knowledge, and how you do that, you're not getting published with your bachelor's. Which research program you on? Which lab you get in control of? Which $25 million grant are you in control of with your bachelor's to be able to call yourself a scientist? We throw these terms around too loosely. I keep saying that. I engage in diagnostics. Take your blood and measure it. I determine this and run another test, and we can put a whole diagnosis together. They're most likely suffering from XYZ. I can do all that, but that's applied science. I'm in the field, but applied science. I'm not doing research. We are not scientists. That's a distinguishing that you need to make.
Well,
That's a fact. Love to you, Unc. What's up with y'all? I'm glad to be up here. I guess my name's Wool. I accept that. I like that. I go from that. But personally, to me, just to let you know, based after our last conversation, I'm selling courses now. I'm selling my own personal courses, $100 a course. You know what I mean? Shout out to the people. Go ahead and sign up for that. $100 a course. I figured out a way to cure all diseases with just a banana. I promise you. I just get the course and you'll be able to do that. So just shout out, go ahead and sign up for that. But just another thing for you though. I honestly, I really think it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna play this video. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm tired of y'all playing with me. Y'all playing with me now. I'm tired of
then
y'all
What,
playing with me. I'm gonna let
Bobby,
you
can he
finish.
finish his statement?
Of course,
Come on, then
but I
don't
just did
don't
that.
cut
Of
nobody
course.
off. Come
I know what
on.
I'm saying, but I'm tired of y'all playing with me. Everybody
We don't
playing. I'm
care.
gonna
Just
let the
let
scientists talk for
people
herself.
finish their statement, please.
After he said bananas, after he said bananas, cure everything.
That's a
Come
fact.
on, bro.
Let him finish that.
That's a fact.
Let him finish speaking, please.
But honestly though, back. I really think it was a misunderstanding. If we go back to the Sharnetta show or whatever, I don't know if I can say his name, but if we go back to the show, right? The girl was making, or the woman was making a whole argument about evolution, and she was on the affirmative. She was arguing against a guy who was sitting up here, I guess, saying that he doesn't believe in it, yada yada yada.
That was you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, she was arguing against this pseudo guy. You know what I mean? You know, he was doing her good. You know, she was doing good. But you know, so it started getting into the astral projection, because she was basically trying to break down that she believes that she doesn't want to go attack people because she believes that in her life there's certain things that happen that she can't explain, i.e., astral projection. So I mean, I get. Honestly, the presentation was still great. I mean, we still need. I didn't know the difference between applied scientists and the other one. I forgot the other one, but so it was still great. But I just think the energy that it came from is just it's a miscommunication, honestly, because she never mixed pseudo with science. She never said that astral projection was scientifically proven. It was never nothing like that. It was actually the opposite.
Right. That's a fact. Mm. Well, if nothing else, I hope this is educational.
I'll share my screen. I'm tired of playing with y'all. Y'all playing that game film. That eye in the sky don't lie. Share that screen. Tired of playing with y'all. Now y'all making me get into it. Now I gotta do it. One trying to do it. Y'all made me do it. Y'all did this. I didn't do this.
Somebody make you do
Yeah,
nothing.
y'all made me do it.
Don't make you do nothing.
Oh man, everybody. She didn't say this. She didn't say that. She didn't mix pseudo with the degree. Let's see. I want to say, it just may be me. Anyway, I'm having fun though. Nobody should really take this personal. This is what we do on a regular basis though. Let's go. So I'm gonna let you ride. Go ahead.
Hey, too sweet.
No, listen.
What's that? Go ahead, too sweet.
Oh, you're letting me go. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So what I wanted to ask, because like I said, I'm a scientist first, right? But as a scientist, how do you explain places like, because the evolutionary tells us that 20,000 years ago, humans were hunter-gatherers. We use sticks and stones as tools, right? How do you explain places like Pumapunku?
Man, the evolutionary theory don't explain none of that, yo. Y'all made me do this though.
No, we didn't.
Y'all did, man. Y'all did, man. Y'all really did, dog. You know, that's my favorite damn subject. Evolution don't ain't no damn about no damn hunter-gatherers. Let me just finish this though. How we get to pony? Think about this. Then we on pony right now. Y'all playing with me, man.
Yeah, the poopa. I didn't know. I think she was just asking.
Let me finish. Now we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Hold on. We're gonna see what she's saying. Let's see. She's a scientist. She's a pseudoscientist. Y'all tripping.
Oh gosh.
Or Sacsayhuaman or Gobekli Tepe that defy the evolutionary timeline that tells us that there's no way humans are you brought up not to apply it. But if humans were really just hunter-gatherers with minimal information, how are they lining up pyramids with the belt of Orion precisely? Where did they get the math to do this?
They didn't do none of that. That's the
right.
That's pseudo.
So scientists don't know none of that.
Can I make that correction?
Man, I'm not sitting up here doing this with y'all, yo.
Cardinal directions, not Orion's belt. That is pseudo.
Okay, she's a psychiatrist. She's not a geologist. Okay, we
stick to psychiatry. Simple.
Psychiatry or psychology? Hold on now.
Psychologist. He said
Psychologist. Sorry,
psychologist.
psychologist. Yeah.
Stick to
But
that.
she got education, man. She got education. I think y'all mad because she got a little bit higher education than y'all. So y'all was throwing in our face.
She has a
Bus
bachelor's
don't
of
have education.
science.
No,
She has a bachelor's of
still.
science. It's two people on this
I'm not
panel that have
considering
a
her
bachelor's
position.
of science.
Uh-oh.
Two
No,
of us.
okay, let me just say that. Let me fix this.
No,
I'm not finished my point, man.
Yeah.
My point
I'll
is,
go
man,
to that
scientists don't
talking.
sit around here.
Right.
The only people I know to sit around here and talk about stuff like that is new age pseudoscientists. Y'all tripping, man. You can't, come on, man. You can't come off as credible and then talking about a whole lot of pseudoscientific ideas. It's crazy to me. Come on, man. What are we doing here? That ain't the standard. It's not the standard. I don't know what standards y'all got these days. Come on, man. We not now. I granted. All right, she has a degree in psychology, so she said. I ain't never seen it. All right, and I'm sure she's not going to show it to me. So if I don't see your degree, I don't believe you got one anyway. They go for everybody. Everybody on the panel, new panels, old panels, anywhere I run across, I don't want to hear I got a degree. Last person showed me their damn degree was misspelled. So I don't want to hear none of that. That ain't that's my personal thing. But I'm not sitting here listening to people talk about pony and all that in the same language with evolution.
Oh shit.
I'm not doing this, man. Y'all can do that. I work too hard to be able to understand biological human evolution than to hear somebody mix it up with cultural evolution. You know what I'm saying? And just cultures, period, and how hunter-gatherers and what phases. Come on, man. Evolutionary theory, yo, explains why life on Earth is so diverse. Simple as that. Not where life comes from. None of that. Don't got nothing to do with evolution. Doesn't explain that. You're talking about humans and how they evolved. Homo sapiens sapien is just as intelligent today as it was back then. Homo sapiens had the same level of intelligence. All that, man. So let me finish this though. You can't fix this.
Pyramids weren't hunter-gatherer pyramid. The period of hunter-gatherers wasn't during the pyramid times.
So, Sinetter, my second question to
hold on, wait, real quick. To the too sweet. What you and Unc can maybe chime in with me on this as well. When you were talking about that accessing the memory, right?
She asked me the question, King J. I ain't even
hold on. I want you to answer this question, but it's directed to her.
She asked me the question. She asked me the question. You gonna answer the question?
It's quick.
How does that work? How does that work? That's yeah. And for the record, me and Shorty was smiling. I ain't had no disagreement with her. We was on cool time. So I don't know how I got twisted like that. King J was needling her half to death. I wasn't even doing that. Man, I just wasn't. I was having a good time up there. I was having fun with Shorty. Wasn't tripping. She ain't do nothing. Just got me. I was just funny. I thought it'd be funny to say they was a scientist and talking about Poonie as a scientist. That don't even make no sense to say it that way. Y'all can't hear it because y'all don't want to hear it. Y'all just glad to hear. Well, I've been around intelligent sisters. Simple as that. Been around sisters with doctorate degrees. I've been around sisters in charge. Simple as that. So I'm not trying to have to get her for none of that.
Sorry.
I'm not offended at her education. I'm not hating on her because of education. All the sisters around me got goddamn education. So miss me with that's what got me hot. Yeah, two educated women on the panel right now. Matter of fact, most people around me got fucking degrees, so I don't even get the point of this. It's crazy. But I'm not listening to y'all talk about Jabal Tepe, Puni, and all that. How do you explain Puni with 100 get out of here with that? Wouldn't you know to pick up an anthropology book at least? That would be the order of business. You know what I'm saying? It might not be your field. And of course, you're going to make mistakes outside of your field, but a scientist would know to go to the scientific literature on said subject. They wouldn't say it that way, yo. Matter of fact, they would say that's really not my expertise. I'm just asking general question about that Unc and leave it at that. You wouldn't say, I'm a scientist. See, y'all missed that. Let me replay it for you so you can hear it. Hear what she said. People will use the word science and scientist because it gives you authority on a damn situation. A situation which she's clearly not educated in. She does not have a degree in anthropology. Not at all. She doesn't even claim that. So then why talk to me and say as a scientist, then come on, yo. And I'm saying that's the tell for me. I'm listening for that. Y'all forgot I done argued and screamed and shout with Polite and all them stinky inky. Y'all forgot that. See, y'all forgot who y'all be talking to half the damn time. I done heard the greatest pseudos. I done seen a lot of come out and seen a lot of go. I done heard it mixed and twist a million different ways. Come on, man. I ain't here bothering that daggone sister, man. Shorty cool. I ain't tripping. Think I'm mad at Shorty? I'm not even mad at her. I'm just saying I'm offended that she would attack me for not accepting her degree because she's a damn sister. That's what got me mad. And you got the pseudos in the chat talking their mouth, but they won't hit that damn panel though. Scared to death, shaking in their boots. Come on, man. Rewind this again. What in the hell did that anything to do with being a scientist? Nothing. Why say it then? Because you're trying to use it for a reason. It's a reason why you're doing that.
So, Sinetter, my second question to
How do you explain places?
Too sweet.
No, listen.
What's that? Way too sweet.
Oh, you're letting me go. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So what I wanted to ask, because like I said, I'm a scientist first, right? But as a scientist, how do you explain places like, because the evolutionary tells us that 20,000 years ago, humans were hunter-gatherers. We use sticks and stones as tools, right? How do you explain places like Pumapunku or Sacsayhuaman or Gobekli Tepe that defy the evolutionary timeline that tells us that there's no way humans are you brought up not to apply it, but if humans were really just hunter-gatherers with minimal information, how are they lining up pyramids with the belt of Orion precisely? Where did they get the math to do this?
Yeah, they didn't do none of that. That's the
Right,
point.
because pyramids weren't hunter-gatherer pyramid. The period of hunter-gatherers wasn't during the pyramid times.
So, Sinetter, my second question to
hold on, wait, real quick. Because too sweet. What you and Unc can maybe chime in with me on this as well. When you were talking about that accessing the memory, right?
She asked me the question, King J. I'm trying to save it right here because King J on her damn head. I'm trying to save. I'm trying to get out of that moment. Y'all don't see that? I see he clearly on the attack. I wasn't on the attack. I was enjoying the discourse. Yeah, y'all playing, man. Yeah, y'all playing, dude. Man, hold me to a high standard. How about that? I can take it. Yeah, I ain't playing. I ain't sitting around letting nobody come in the community acting like I ain't doing all that, man. When you got kids that we're motivating to go to school and they're gonna be in school and hear something totally different, and they're gonna come back and say, "But I thought this." Yeah, whatever, man. I ain't doing all that. But go ahead. Somebody want to say something?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just feel I put her on the same level as like, a scientist that, also is a Christian. As she has her pseudo ways, or she has her things that she thinks about, but she also believes she's a scientist. She also believes in reality and believes in science. That's kind of just how I see it, honestly.
All right. Okay. Yeah, you can take that. You think humans popped up out of nowhere too. So I hear you.
Believing in
that's false, brother.
reality.
That's false, brother.
You
believe you're a monkey person.
8. Grade 8.
Grade 8.
I'm a grade 8.
8.
Grade 8.
Primates, to be exact. Primates.
Yeah,
so grade 8 is a primate, and so are Homo sapien.
Yeah, monkey.
You can spin that how you want. You can be mad at it, but that's
why
what
you
is.
mad at monkeys.
Not monkey.
I'm mad at monkeys. I'm mad at monkey
There's
people.
a difference between a grade 8 and a monkey, though. You get that, right?
I don't think I come from monkey people.
We're actually closely related to bonobos.
Nah,
so don't F it up. Don't do that.
You're right.
Monkey
Ain't no wrong with it though.
Who teach that?
We all got our
no, but who teach that though? Who teach that?
Y'all do. Monkey people.
No. Forget that. Who teach that?
You just
Let's
lied.
say we do teach it. What the
Okay.
experts teach though?
Experts teach monkey people.
Okay, see.
They
So
teach
so
you.
so then how am I supposed to even respect what you're saying about the sister?
Look up a Homo rudolphinensis.
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I just said?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, look up a
What I
Homo
no, what I
rudolph.
say?
Archaic
What I
beings,
say?
we're not
Homo
archaic human
rudolphinensis.
beings, bro.
You talking about Homo
Possibility.
I mean, but that's
habiligensis?
still in the lineage
Continue. Yeah,
supposedly
you ain't
of
even
Nah,
scared.
Homo.
whatever.
So
You talking about
Continue what
Homo?
you're
You talking
saying,
about Homo
brother.
habiligensis, right?
no, Homo rudolphinensis.
Spell it. Spell it.
Homo HOMO Rudolph RUDOLF
RUDOL. Hold on.
ENSIS.
Forensis. You talking about Rudolph Forensis, right?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, that's
Well,
it. Okay. All
okay.
right.
Look up a picture and put it up on the screen.
All right, we're gonna put it right here. Now, where you at? Okay.
Oh, that's a skull. They ain't got a picture, like a
Here go
breakdown
picture.
picture.
Here go
Oh
picture.
man, damn! Look at that. What is
I'm
that?
looking. Okay, where we at?
How would you describe that thing, brother?
Looks very,
Like an archaic
very
human.
human. Chimpanzee-ish, monkeyish. It really
And
does.
monkeyish. Okay, all right.
Monkeyish,
So am I
chimpanzee. It
lying?
does.
Am
What
I
you? It's
lying?
a drawing. What you
So
want me
I'm
to
lying.
say?
So am I lying?
I mean, but it's a
Am I
picture. Though,
lying
so
that
what you want me to
experts
do?
believe that this is our ancestors?
So you saying that's your ancestor, yo?
Sure, that's what the experts say, right? We go by what the experts say. Am I lying saying that this
So
is
can
what
we
the
read?
experts
You
say?
want to read? You want to read what it's saying, though?
We can do that later. Am I lying by saying that this is what the experts say our ancestors look like?
Well,
Well,
so you mad about what about your ancestors? They're like a fish. You mad at them?
Yeah, I'm definitely mad at that. You told me that the fish. You told me that the fish was doing pull-ups before it came out. God, I
Push.
would
I
not.
ain't say
told
pull
you
ups.
that the well was.
You did.
So
You said
maybe you
push-ups.
did,
I
but
didn't. I said push up, Joe.
You said push-ups.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
And
mad
the
about the
wells used
whole.
to walk on land. All that is correct, though. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
can,
Sure.
correct, though, yo.
I can send
As
you
of right now.
a video if you need to learn more.
Sure. We
They
can.
actually put it together. The species that's like in between that evolved over time and went
Okay.
back to the water. Yeah.
Okay. So you know how you guys say,
Over
like,
like
for instance,
50 million years, it's not that hard to believe. You can't even fathom 100 for real.
yeah,
Maybe
just like how we
150.
can't fathom a person just popping up from the dust. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things for some reason that we choose not to fathom, but for some reason we choose to fathom the other things. Like how we choose to believe that we come from monkey people because the so-called evidence comes to that conclusion. I'm not. Look, at the end of the
Yeah,
day, I'm
you
not.
pseudo is all hell. Believe in so-called. It's like solidified.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
stop, bro.
All right.
So we're gonna let you got your moment.
You
right
don't gotta
now, right?
believe it, but science doesn't care about what you believe and what you don't.
That's a
It's
fact.
still gonna stand the test of time.
You got your
You don't
moment,
gotta
though.
believe it. You can deny it all you want.
Now
Doesn't
you got
change.
your moment.
So do
Go
we
ahead and
all
explain it.
now
Change the
agree when
facts.
I
No, we're not
say that we
going
come
that.
from
We're
monkey
not
people?
gonna do that.
Okay. All
Stick
right.
to the
We ain't got
subject
to.
of the show. I just made a correction though.
I don't think I was ever corrected, but okay. All
Oh,
right.
you were. You were corrected.
So we don't come from monkey people.
Nah,
No,
bro,
we
they
come
don't
from
call
great
them
Oh
monkeys
apes.
at
man,
all. You made that up.
I
I'm
just
saying they
proved
don't
it.
call. You know they don't call them monkeys, though, right? You can at
I
least
know for a
understand that.
fact. I just do
They
that
don't
because I
call
know
them
that
monkeys.
pisses you guys off. I mean,
No,
we
it
know
doesn't
that.
piss.
It's
No, it
in the
don't
We
piss
Homer
me
don't
off.
scripture.
care.
Yeah,
It
because
actually
40
makes
million
you
years,
look
because 40 million years
silly
ago, the 40
that you
million
don't know the
years
difference
ago,
between a monkey
you
and an
can
ape.
find a monkey in our
That looks
story. 40 million
that's
years
on you,
ago.
not us.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
do come from
I'm
monkey
not
people.
afraid of a monkey. I said 40 million years ago. So now what?
Rather, it was 40 million years. We do
That's
lineage from
divergent.
monkey people.
Yeah, 40 million years ago. Yep.
Okay, all right. So next time that I say that we come from monkey people or you
I'm
come
not
from
mad
monkey
at you.
people,
I
then it
won't be
shouldn't be
mad
an
at you.
argument.
But you
We're
know,
not mad
you know why
now.
that's an
It's
issue, though,
very
right?
correct.
You know why that's an issue, right?
Why
Because
is
white people call us monkeys. That's why
I
it's an
could care
issue.
less for white people. You're calling yourself
Okay,
a
I'm
monkey.
just letting you know. I'm just trying to let you know what it is, bro.
You're
That's
calling
all.
yourself a monkey. So what's the
No, I'm
point? I
not.
mean,
And humans aren't monkeys, though.
We're
okay.
primates.
But
All
what
right.
I will say, I'll give you this. The point I will make very, very clear that
Okay.
that our bodies itself is a suppository of everything that we have come from. And so, yeah, you do find monkeys in our story. But what that's supposed to mean? What's the
That's a
problem
fact.
with that?
That's a
Right?
fact.
As a matter of fact, our tails fell off in the womb. Right? So humans do have tails, but their tails just fall off in the womb because then you classify the monkey having the tail. All right. Simians, bro. So I'm just making a point here. Like, so what? But
I think it's a
scientists
standard
don't
of
say it
evidence.
that way, though. But so what, though? That's
I
my
think
whole
it's the
point.
standard. It's the
So
standard
what's wrong with the
evidence,
monkey?
right?
What's wrong with the monkey though, yo? So you rather so you got a problem with the chimpanzee?
I can
You
tell
cool with
you
the
if you let me talk.
chimpanzee?
I can tell you if you let me talk. The the problem is the
What's the
standard
problem?
of evidence. It's the standard of evidence. That's the problem. The fact that we can sit up here and say that somehow a chip in the back of our bone, back of our skeletal structure, proves that somehow we had tails 50 million, 500 million, whatever million years ago, is a standard that you do not apply when you talk about religious people. And this is the problem that I have. When we sit up here and we talk about evolutionary theories and try to push them as their facts because so-called evidence is supposed to
Oh
push
my
towards that,
God.
but the evidence that you push
Okay,
towards it
well, yeah,
is not something like you want to use, or what you want to use when you say that God is supposed to just come out of the clouds if he exists. It's not the
Yeah.
same
That's
standard.
another
hold on
show.
for a minute. Hold on for a
That's
minute.
another show, bro. We can clip
That's a
this up
fact.
and do a whole nother show,
That's
You
please.
a
know
fact.
what's funny though, yo? You don't even know what the hell a theory is.
That's a fact.
So how can you understand a scientific theory if you don't even know what the hell it is? Think about that. What you doing, yo? That ain't even
That makes
smart.
sense. That makes sense.
So what's a theory though, yo?
What's a theory?
Yeah, what's a theory, bro? What's a
Something
scientific
that you
theory,
think
bro?
could be possible.
All right. So then we sitting here bugged out.
Okay.
Think about that, yo. You sitting here making your whole determination, right? Off of a misunderstanding of a scientific word, scientific theory. Yo, you should probably just understand what a scientific theory is. Then you
That's an
would know it got
assumption.
nothing to do with religion, yo. You get it though, right, yo? Like, how can
I
we
get it.
have an intelligent conversation, yo? If you don't understand what a scientific theory is, if you don't understand what an expert is, if you don't understand the different modes to get to the expert standard, how can we compete in the world, yo? Think you gotta really think about that, yo. We supposed to be African Americans. We definitely a part of some of the most intelligent people on planet Earth, yo. Yo, what's going on, yo? What's going on with the education, yo? Has the educational system failed us, or have we failed the educational system? And I know it's a lot of dialogue going back and forth right there, yo. But one thing I would never do, yo, I would never argue over something I don't understand, yo. I'm a vetted first before I come to the public, yo. You it's the new television, yo. And you sitting there arguing over what a scientific theory is and set it all wrong and crazy, yo. And then you back the sister. So I'm saying I don't even think you understand what a credential is. And
I
I'm
understand we
saying,
come
yo,
from
what
monkey
you want
people.
me to do, yo? What you want me to do, bro? Now you throwing jokes, hominin out monkey people. Come on, yo. I'm trying to talk to you. I ain't
Because you're
throwing no
making
shade.
assumptions.
I'm just saying, but wouldn't it, you don't know what a theory is, yo? And specifically a scientific theory. So how
So
can we
just
have a
tell me.
conversation?
So
I'm
just
not
tell
going
me.
to tell you because you argue with
Yeah, because you're
vigor.
being disingenuous. You're trying to be better than me right now, and that's not even the point. Really, the
See,
only
I
point
beat
that
you down. See, I beat you down. Now I
I
get
mean,
it. My fault. Hey, Miss Tiff, this when you say I treated him wrong. Oh, you didn't have to come at him that way. All right, yo. You right.
well, no, you can
I'm
just
trying to
explain
be
your
better than
point.
you.
And
How
you can
about,
explain your
yo,
point.
how about I just know what a damn scientific theory is? Could it just be that?
Spit it, brother.
And you just got that wrong. I'm not spitting anything.
I'm definitely wrong. Go ahead. Tell me what a scientific
No,
theory
no,
is.
no, no, no. You playing with me now.
I'm not. I'm
Okay.
absolutely not.
No,
Because
no.
I'm rather I care about your point. I really don't care if you know if I
No,
don't
but why
know.
you saying I'm
I
trying to
would
be
admit
better
to
than you
you
though,
I
So
don't
bro?
know what a
I have
scientific
a
theory is.
question for you. I have a question for you. If you don't believe any of this, why do you insist on jumping up a panel with scientifically literate people who are teaching
Because,
science?
brother, why would I miss out on the time to talk to Cedric Ortega? What are you talking about,
But
brother? What do you
We need
realize
that,
that
Bobby Banger. When you gonna send me that
we
pseudo alert? I need that
respond to
pseudo
you.
alert over here. You
Oh yeah,
tripping?
you
You
got
realize that I really literally don't respond to you. Right? So that was my
I
question.
still
I'm
love you
trying to
though.
figure
What?
out
I'm
why
a
you here.
fan. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna
I'm a
read it to
fan of
you,
you.
bro. Here you go, bro. Can you read this, show?
I got you.
Go ahead, Miss. Go ahead, Juju. Can you see it, bro?
Yeah. I can only
I
read
ain't
at an
trying to
eighth
throw no
grade level
shade.
though, so I'm gonna just let you know beforehand. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Hold
most
up,
of us
Wolvie.
We
can, man.
believe it.
Yeah, we. All right, go ahead, read it, yo.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of. Let me see if I can. Okay,
Make it plain.
scientific theory is an explanation of an aspect of the natural world that can be or that has been repeatedly tested and has, see, told you, 8th grade level, corroborating evidence in accordance with the scientific method using accepted protocols of observation, measurement, and evaluation of results. Stop right there. Keep going.
Yeah, you just stop right there, yo. So
All
see
right.
how you got that wrong, yo. Now you know what a scientific theory actually organizes scientific facts, yo.
To be
Yeah, I just
fair,
made it
I
simple.
only answered what a theory was. I really didn't answer what a science.
Okay, but we was talking about a scientific theory, yo. If we talking evolution, we talking scientific theory. Ain't
You
no
said
in-between.
theory. You said theory.
No, man, because we talking about, see, disingenuous. See?
How?
That's what Shorty doing. She doing the same thing. That's what I don't like, yo. I'm out of here on that one. That's the point. See the point you just did, yo? Just say, you know what, dog? I got that wrong, yo. Let's grow.
You can't get mad at me because you said theory. You
Man,
said theory.
that's what I'm talking. Are we talking evolution?
Yes.
You said it's just a theory, bro.
What
you
was
said
the question?
that?
What was the question?
No, bro, you got that wrong. Okay, apply that. Now, do you understand evolution now? Applying that. Now, does evolution make sense now? If you apply that, you said it wasn't. You said it was like a religion, yo. You said the science theories. That's what you said. See, based off of that, though, it's repeatedly tested, yo.
Just because you don't like to use the word religion doesn't make it
No, bro. This is a repeatedly tested aspect of the natural world. It's different from a religion, yo. It's different from what you said. We got the tape.
Evolution,
it's a scientific theory and a fact.
Conclusion of evolution.
It's no conclusion. It's a scientific fact, and it's not only a scientific fact, yo. It's a theory and a fact.
Okay, all right. I see the over talking is starting. So
I gotta over talk you, bro. I'm over talking you because you ain't stand up like a man would. A man's supposed to say, yo, I got that shit wrong, yo.
Oh, now I'm not a man. Okay.
So no, I said a man would say I got it wrong, dog.
The conclusion.
Hold on, you sat up here and call me. Hold on, you call me monkey people. Then you get mad because I say, yo, the way you handle ain't like a man. Really, yo, did I get offended because you call me a monkey person?
Oh my goodness, brother.
So don't play victim right now, yo. You start off with monkey person.
Yeah, that playing victim is going around. It must be a virus.
Yeah, y'all doing too much, yo. That's too
I'm not
much,
trying to play victim.
You say now you're not a man. I didn't say that. I said what we do is when we wrong, we just say we wrong, yo, and it's okay.
I'm wrong, brother. I never said I was right. Never said I was right. Okay.
Thank you. See how you grew in that moment?
In that moment, huh? So
yeah,
I didn't
yo, because we grow in the moment when we wrong, yo. We grow as a people, yo. That's it. It's not hard, bro. We ain't in the university. We're on YouTube trying to get this shit right. So we ain't outside in front of people making our family look crazy and bad and wild,
so
bro.
Was I wrong about us supposedly coming from monkey people? Was I wrong about that?
Yeah, because the scientists don't say that. That you made that up. That's your own joke. That's your own white person joke.
So we can't look at a picture of what they draw.
The chat is asking that you either make a donation or you get off.
Oh, okay, I'll get off. Yeah, have a nice one.
So if you make a donation, you could stay a little longer. But
I don't know, but I'm poor.
They said you dumbing them down in the chat. I'm not saying it. It's literally in the chat.
I'm out of here. Let me. Hey, I'm a log into the phone. Some of the comments
we had to mute because we don't want to offend nobody.
Hey, Jude, I'm gonna jump on with the thing.
You're just being willfully ignorant at this point.
I'm gonna jump on with the phone.
Got it.
All right, we need somebody else to hit the panel. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like the link is out there. If y'all want to hit the panel, doesn't matter what you say in the chat, but when you get up here, just be mindful and respectful, okay? Because at the end of the day, Doc Tusway is a Black woman, so we just want to keep it, keep it cool, right? But yeah.
Yeah, we need a short video. I'm about to.
And
I heard you, Miss Tiffany, for real. And that it negates it because it's not a scientific law. Don't do that. We'll eat y'all alive with that one. That's fallacious.
Cedric, what you say?
Yeah, I said I've realized that we need and as far as possible, I try to add visuals because sometimes the explanation just isn't working, and short videos seem to have a good impact. So I try to incorporate that as much as possible. But yeah,
You're talking about willfully ignorant people. That's
yeah. That's
no
why
matter how you put it, they
I
won't hear.
refuse to
But real
document.
quick, since we got people in the chat, you know, I don't know. They have it. Can you explain like the difference or the overlaps between scientific theory and scientific law, Cedric, real quick, if
A
you feel like
law
it,
is
or you
is
want to
is
wait?
simply an explanation of how systems operate, right? And that is based on the facts. So facts equate to laws, but a scientific law isn't a scientific theory. A scientific theory organizes all these laws, facts, experimentation, hypotheses in a coherent body of work. So it explains a particular phenomena coherently based on the scientific laws and the facts established, which establish those laws.
So a lot of people think that a scientific law is above a scientific theory.
No.
Thank you.
A scientific theory organizes the laws and the facts. They put all of that in a coherent, in a coherent, in a coherent narrative. On top of that, a scientific theory always contains a hypothesis. So, based on what the theory explains, you derive a hypothesis, a future prediction, and that prediction now becomes part of the whole theory. Once a prediction is evident, it gives the theory more validation. However, science never speaks in absolute. So you would never hear this proves a theory. No, only maths is used as proof to substantiate the evidence that has been collected. And the maths can form part of the scientific laws as well. And again, we are about producing clarity in the community. If you look at the presentation, there was no ad homs involved. There was no intent to discredit anyone. Again, we are all about scientific literacy. We're all about building a community, and it requires us to be critical. And and we are going to maintain that role and that job because it's not always a pretty one, but it has to be done, right? So we can have clarity in our communication and understanding.
Yeah, so I hope that clears it up about scientific theory and scientific law. So stop running around in chat saying this, but it ain't a law, because y'all done screwed that up. You got that whole wrong.
What? What they say, Juju? At scientific will never be
They're
laws, and
trying to
laws will
they're
never
trying
be
to
a scientific
discredit a
theory.
scientific theory because in their heads, because it's not a law,
Because
it's
they're
not
ignorant of it.
fact.
It's not supposed to be a law. Yeah, a theory never becomes a law. And a law, there's no hierarchy. Yeah, y'all
Right.
didn't know that, huh? See? Yeah, we proficient over here. Go figure it out. Yes, the pseudos won't hit the pound though.
If you think we're
Then,
incorrect, the link is in the chat.
oh,
Please
no
come up
damn
here
yo.
and teach us. Boy, I tell y'all.
That a law is higher than the scientific theory. They don't even know why it's called the law of gravity. They wouldn't even know why.
Right.
Tripping. That's the point. See, in science, you can't play in the gray areas. That's the whole point. You saying don't play with the gray area.
Anthony,
Yep.
you want to hop on the panel real quick? Break it down.
Man, pick up the Anthony, man.
Yeah, shout out to Starman
Peace,
Anthony.
Brother Anthony, the Space Age Africa.
Mhm. Space Age African.
Can't wait for the next show, Juju. I love the space shows, man. I don't even hit the panel. I just sit in the chat.
I miss them, yo.
Yeah, I
Man,
miss them.
and you know, he lost his son, man. And I would like to say big up to his son, man, and big up to your family, man. And I'm just giving him a moment of silence. Real.
Kaylin Christopher Marshall.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
big up for Juju for being there, yo. Appreciate that. Yeah, we take care of our own, yo, around here, yo. Yeah, big up to the brother, man. Integral part of what we do, man. Y'all gotta check out the catalog, his catalog. We have a catalog. All right. Pictures taken by the star, man. Space Age Anthony. Space Age African. All right, we got an actual catalog, yo. Yeah.
that's what's up. Original photos.
Quasars and what else named after us in there, GG? What we got? Star clusters.
Um,
What we got in there?
yeah, we got quasar, star clusters. I think we got a couple of nebulas.
Nebulas named after us, yo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all
This
was
is
serious about what y'all was doing, y'all can have a catalog, yo.
I'll get that. Let me get the Abjuware link for you. And we do have some new Abjuware products coming up. So y'all look out for that.
And once again, I want to remind everybody later on during this week, the fourth installment in the 5-part series, Deconstructing the Divine Spirit versus Soul. Tune into that one. And of course, the week after, we're going to round off this series with the spirit, with the afterlife, death, and all of that good stuff. We'll dive into Dante's Inferno, and of course, like we do, critically examine where these ideas and concepts come from, and help us to navigate through this information grounded in some facts.
I know Bobby Banger got to go, but Dr. Mayat might hop on real quick. So y'all give me a minute.
All right.
You said what? You said what? What did you say?
You said Dr. Mayat might jump on. So
I think
hopefully
I
have a conversation
think
about
somebody sent out the bat signal.
I got a
Should be
special.
getting
I got a special coming up too, yo. We got some people talking reckless about Dr. Mayat too. Real reckless, yo. Yeah, yo. You want to talk about somebody attacking somebody, yo? I'm gonna show y'all what a real attack is. Ain't nobody attacking. Ain't nobody attack sister too sweet. Nobody attack her, yo.
and then we're gonna have a conversation eventually about Sinners, just to that movie everybody's talking about. We gotta wait for a few more of us to actually see it so we can dialogue about it. But
Definitely.
I'll either be here on Community Skeptics, one of the two. But yeah.
Yeah, y'all can rock out. I'll be trying to wait till they come into the thing. You say it in the movies.
Yeah, you go to the movie like yes, like you don't go to the movie.
Huh?
This is I don't know why you're like that.
Me and my son might go to the movies.
Yeah, don't support that brother.
What?
You know what I said?
What am I already? He already supported. What you talking about?
Anyway.
Shit. That boy did something somebody ain't did in a while, yo. You gotta give it to him. They could create a whole new genre, yo. How about that? I like that. I like to hear that type of talk.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of because it wasn't a horror movie, right? But the horrors that we went through, I can imagine.
I mean, in a way, it was a part. Well, it was what do they call it? A genre bending.
Oh, that's what they want to call it. Okay.
Yeah, because it was like 4 or 5 different genres in one movie.
Okay. African American style, yeah.
Drama, musical, horror. That's 4, right? And I guess you can do period piece. That would be 5.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny though. I definitely study behavior, yo. Tell a lot about a person where they react to some things too.
Nobody want to get on the panel because y'all be cracking on people.
It's not there,
All
yo.
the
They never was gonna get on. They chatty in the patio. They never was gonna get
Oh
on the
wait,
ground. Bro.
I got it for you. So what I said earlier in the chat was the merge cube. I have one for the my students I mentor. It's supposed to be an interactive device. I wish I could demonstrate it, but I think it'll be like hard to demonstrate on here. So give me just a minute and I'll show it to you what I'm talking about. Okay, here it goes. Okay, this is if you can see that, this is a merge cube. It looks like this. Now you can use a phone or iPad, and it has different segments that talk about different aspects of science. Very simple. It'll be like a NASA, what is it? NASA space.com, which is NASA's website for kids, but we say it's for everybody because people don't have a fundamental grasp of certain concepts. We always tell them to start there because it breaks it down really simple. But this is a cube, and you get a phone or iPad, and when you pick a subject and you put your phone in front of it, it brings a subject to life like in a 3D manner. I believe you can connect it to one of those VR sets too. So if you see what they're doing in this picture, I'm gonna open it in another tab. All right. So I'm gonna go to another tab real quick. So give me a minute. So you can see what it looks like, a merge cube looks like. So it looks like this. It looks exactly like this. When you have an iPad or phone on it, the object becomes 3D. You can expand it or detract it. It has little widgets on it, and every time you press it, it gives you a bit of information about the subject. It's pretty awesome. This one is talking about like the Earth's crust, geology. Yeah, they did dissect a frog. Different stuff. It's pretty cool. It's called the Merge Cube. If you pay $99, you get the cube and you also get like a yearly subscription because the whole Merge Cube has a whole app to it. I think it was geared more towards teachers to make science interactive and engaging. So they have different apps and support links that you would be available to you with the $99 year subscription. So that's the Merge Cube, and I got that for my students. What up, Gullah?
What's good?
Chilling. Go ahead. You got something you want to say? Anything? Yes,
I must
Sage. Wait, real
now. I
quick. I
must be
think
listening. I must be listening to the back. I must be listening to the back play. I was hearing the dude talking about monkey talk and all that. I must be listening to like he must
yeah,
have jumped off.
you're behind. He gone. Real quick.
Yeah.
Sage, I think it would be suitable for a 3-year-old as long as you're there to like walk them down it. But visually, absolutely yes. And I don't think it's ever too early to start, exposing children to certain concepts. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Gullah. Yeah, he gone. He was
Yeah. I was gonna say first of all, if he really studies scientifically, it ain't no scientifically in biology. There ain't no scientific term as monkey in taxonomy anyway. You know what I'm saying?
thank you. Simeon, right?
Yeah, simians, everything on the
I could
taxonomy.
have sworn I said it. I could have sworn I said it.
Yeah.
Man, you argued for years. Go ahead.
Just a response to Kaya. Were you finished, Gullah?
Yeah, I was finished. Yeah, I was just, you know what I'm saying. I just heard the dude. I just was. I guess I heard the past replay. The dude was talking about. I guess he think people come out of the ground like Cabbage Patch Babies or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna read something here to clarify, I think, a misunderstanding that Kayel has. We could use a simple AI question for that, right? I don't think you need to share my screen. So I asked, give me the difference between applied science and academic requirements and scientists. Typical. So let's start up here. Um, uh, okay. Um, let's.
I'll share your screen. Let me share your screen. Where you at?
So. Let me share.
Or is that? Oh, that was me.
I didn't share it yet.
You gotta know what field Kyle in, yo.
Yeah. Here.
He right. When it comes to this field, yo, you get
So,
what do you say you get?
So academic requirements for applied science and what it actually is, right? Typical of bachelor's degree in applied science, in applied fields, for example, bachelor's in engineering, bachelor's in science, in applied physics, bachelor's in biotechnology, what I got, right? Often followed by a master's in master's in science or master's in engineering, depending on the fields. Professional certification may also be needed, for example, a professional engineering license. Fields of work: engineering, mechanical, electrical, civil software, medical science, nursing, pharmacy, clinical lab sciences, what I do, environmental sciences, applied physics, agriculture sciences, etc. Focus of study: practical problem solving, technological development, field work, lab work, internship, and industry training. The typical things I do field work, I do lab work, I provide internship, and I do industry training, for example, in food hygiene. An environmental engineer might need a bachelor's in science in environmental engineering plus certification to work on water purification systems. Now, with my a bachelor's in biochemical engineering, I don't need one extra certification. I can just work in this setting. And of course, a medical technologist, I also this. So this is all applied science, right? This is the area of work. You don't see the term scientist. Now, academic requirements for scientists, usually you must have a bachelor's, then your master's, your PhD. Leading research projects, this is a requirement. University teaching professor roles, high-level lab and industrial research positions. Fields: theoretical physics, molecular biology, astrophysics, cognitive sciences. Focus of study: research methodology, experimental designs, deep theoretical knowledge, original contributions, especially during PhD research. Comparison table, you got that there. Here you go. Example: a physicist studying black hole might need a PhD in physics. He definitely gonna do. A marine biologist cataloging new species might need a master's or a PhD in marine biology. At no point in time is the conversation on that. Bachelor's level operate primarily in the applied sciences and these fields. It's a subtle, but it is a relevant distinction, and that's where you get confusion, right? You can be an engineer and develop a whole lot of new stuff at this level, software engineering, and you writing programs. It is not the same as what you do it in this area, right? These are two different levels of applying knowledge, and this one requires minimal. You see, they just go straight down, master's, PhD, and on the PhD is when you start to see what you're actually doing. So this is the level to start yourself a scientist. That's just a matter of fact. We can't get around it. I would love.
You like what you're saying, bro. And that's me. You know when I started, bro,
You in the matrix? Or is
saying,
it me?
you talked about the term in colloquial use. I'm
Yeah.
in the matrix, Joe.
No, you're good.
Usually, yeah, I reached out to Dr. Yap. We had a great conversation around that, yo. I reached out to a couple people that have master's degree in psychology, yo. And one, Dr. Yap talked about colloquial terms, right? So yes, the colloquial terms, of course. You know, research and stuff, yes. But it was all right. We was obviously talking about the level, right? We was obviously talking about the level, yo. Person said they was an expert, man. All right, so let's not forget that. So no one's actually confused, right? And to start your journey into being a scientist, you first had to get that 4-year degree, and you move forward. And then you start helping out with research and all that. You ain't leading no damn research with no damn masters. I mean, with no damn going bachelor's. Come on, yo. Like, we not playing this
No, you're
game,
not.
bro.
I never heard
Like,
that
we know what the
before.
hell we saying, man. Right? We not doing my research. When? When? What you talking about? Because you already be writing your dissertation. You would if you it be because people that serious, yo. You know what I'm saying? Well, they actually gonna skip a step because they shit is so serious, yo. Is that what we saying? What we saying? And then you would never use that against me in a conversation about. Come on, yo. We gotta stop it, yo. Yeah. Man, come on, man. Come on, yo. Then in some field certifications are important. You know, maybe, Kyle can do a whole presentations on the differences in this field and what certifications you need and why you wouldn't need to get a doctorate degree, and that'd be a good presentation right there. Yeah, but it ain't we ain't applying I was having on Saw TV. Well, I never was the one to bring up anything about anybody's. You don't need a certification nor a degree to have a conversation on Saw TV. That's crazy. If you did have it, you would keep it a secret. How about that? That's another point. If you was on something that is talking to me, you just wouldn't even bring it up. I was never hear Dr. Miyah bring that up. They ain't even her damn name, Dr. Miyah. This is YouTube stage name. She don't bring that up in the general conversation. You know what I mean? Come on, man. This is not what you do. And if you're in the field of psychology, you're not running around talking about I'm a scientist. That's another thing. See, that's what y'all don't know. Y'all don't know nobody in the actual field. You know somebody in the field, that ain't what you walking around, going to conferences, talking about you're a scientist. That's not how that works. You don't do that. There's a misuse of it. And that's my statement on that. But go ahead, Cedric.
Daddy, yeah, what happened?
No, I said go ahead. I'm just saying, it's just
There
a
she
misuse of
goes.
terminology, man.
The doc
There goes,
was telling the
there goes
scientists
Doc.
panel. We can't hear you, doc.
You
You might
muted, Doc.
Okay, my bad. I said peace. I said, what's going on with the family?
We
be
chilling.
Going through
behind
it.
Y'all
Going through
chilling?
it.
on the panel, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
think you
chilling.
could.
Yeah.
I
Huh?
think you can read the chat and see where the confusion is. However,
Mm-hmm.
a statement was made in a
Mm-hmm.
particular space about I have a bachelor's of science, therefore I am a scientist.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't say that automatically qualifies you as a scientist, right? And I remember that this was brought to my attention. Unc and I kind of he just sent me a text message a few days ago and asked me my opinion about it. And I explained to him that it's levels to it, right? And I said it's levels to it. It's not like you either this or you're that, right? Or either a black and white thing. Is layers to it. It's levels to it. And I said to him that um just because you have a bachelor's of science degree doesn't necessarily mean you are a scientist. But let me break down what I mean by that. So my response to Ankh was, I said, well, technically, in the colloquial sense of the word, anybody who formulates a hypothesis and applies the scientific method is a scientist in the colloquial sense, right? So if you notice, I'm very, very careful with my words, right? In the colloquial sense of the word, then anybody that formulates hypotheses and applies a scientific method can be considered a scientist, right? So you got that level. Then you had the level that what she's talking about. She went to school, maybe. Did she major in science? I do want to understand that, Sister Juju. Did she
She has
major?
a Bachelor of Science in Criminology.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
Stop.
Okay, my bad. I thought that she had like a physics,
No,
degree,
ma'am.
or
Soft science.
a biology degree, or
Nope.
she majored in biology or physics, or
Nope.
something like
Soft
that.
science. Soft science. Yeah.
Yeah, she a guest expert.
Oh, in my brain, I thought that she actually like took some science classes. She majored in, like by a science, that she majored in a science. And yeah, and so that would be the next level. So that would be the degree level, right? So we had the colloquial sense of the word, the everyday sense of the word. Okay, you formulate a hypothesis, you apply the scientific method. Okay, in the colloquial sense of the word, you're a scientist, right? Notice I keep saying in a colloquial sense of the word, right?
Yes.
And then you had the
That's
next level.
important.
Yeah, then you have the next. Yeah, you had the next level where, like, okay, well, I may have went to school and majored in physics, or I may have majored in biology or chemistry, right, or one of those sciences, and then so we would call you maybe a degree holding scientist in the sense that you have a degree and that you taken some classes and you may be scientifically literate, and your knowledge and understanding of scientific concepts and theories have been assessed. So you've proven that, right? And then you have the expert scientist. And see, I think that's where Ankh thought that she was going, that she was an expert scientist, and this is somebody that literally is now an expert in a particular science. And they became that either through working in the field, and having years and years of experience, or going to school to get an advanced degree, in some sort of science. So that would be I think that's the level that Ankh is talking about, as opposed, I don't know what she's talking about. I thought when he said that she was a scientist, that she may have gotten a degree in one of the sciences. But no, I wouldn't call her a scientist. Not the way we're thinking about, a scientist. We're thinking about the expert scientist. So we're thinking about that level, and she doesn't qualify at that level
Bobby
as
Banger.
a
And
scientist.
I clarify.
Wait.
Hold
Wait.
on for a minute.
Are you
Hold
still there,
on. I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Did she not say she was an expert?
Yeah, she said she was an expert is on tape. She said that. I didn't really pay that no mind, but I would like to ask Dr. Mia, hey, Dr. Mia, who brought you into the community?
You did.
Yeah, see, she said I was hating on her because she was a woman and educated. You're like one of the most educated people I know. This is the craziest thing ever, yo.
No, that's not. No, that's not your MO. I actually, when I came into and when you say the community, we're talking about the online conscious community, correct?
Online,
Yeah, so the
community.
online conscious community. So
Yes,
what happened? Because I've been in the conscious community since I was 17. Shout out to Brother Jabari and Survivors Nation. And what was the other name they went by? Survivors Nation. Oh, Reality Speaks. So shout out
in
to
Baltimore,
them
absolutely.
in Baltimore.
Shout out to them.
So yeah, so I actually came into the community. Online conscious community. I came in, it was like 2013, 2014, around that time. And I was going on Sinet's platform debating Hebrew Israelites. And there was one particular Hebrew Israelite. I'm not going to say his name, because you say his name, you give him a little attention, that he want to make 25 videos. He's one of those type of people, one of those type of folks. But you know who I'm talking about, Brother Ankh. And so he and I was debating. And then there was a brother by the name of Courtney who wanted to set up a debate, a live debate between me and this particular Hebrew Israelite, if that's what you want to call him. And so I end up, meeting Ankh, in preparation for the debate. Courtney hooked me up with Ankh, and he and I was going back and forth, exchanging ideas and stuff like that. And then I came down to Atlanta, and I actually met Ankh at the debate. Fast forward, I became a part of the Arm and Raw squad. Ankh fought tooth and nail to get me on there. Like, you on here. And so got on the Arm and Raw squad, and then Sinetta had this conference, or I think it was a conference about Kemet. And so anyway, all kept saying, put Dr. Ma'at on Sinetta. And Sinetta was like, nah, our schedule is packed. I can't give nobody no more time. Sinetta was doing all that. And Ankh was like, well, I'm gonna give up some of my time to make sure that the sister has the opportunity to speak. I'm sharing that story to say that he's always been an advocate for the sisters, since I've known him for day one. And that is my personal experience with him. He's always gone at the dudes, that came and disrespected the sister. He was always the one that would come and defend the sisterhood. He's defended me numerous times, against a lot of folks. And so Ankh has always been, a big supporter and an ally, an advocate of the sisterhood. So I don't know what that sister, where she got her information from, but it's definitely misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation concerning our brother Ankh.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I ain't disrespecting the damn sisters, man. That's crazy.
No, you would never. You would never.
I'm thinking she would know that, being that I don't know why that's doing that. It's Miss Tiffany and I around, like that
right.
was weird,
yeah, why would you be around somebody that's misogynist?
Right.
Especially two strong women like us.
Right, exactly. Strong women. Right. Why would you all be around him if that's what, if that's what it was? And let me say another thing. He's always takes criticism, constructive criticism from the sisterhood. And one thing he said to me, and he was probably one of the first men that ever said this to me. He said, I surround myself with women. He said, I love to surround myself with women. He said, because y'all get the job done. He said, y'all get the job done. You make sure you support, you critique, you love, you support. He said, he always shared that with me. He said, I love to surround myself with females. He said, that's who I actually prefer to be around. I want to be around a bunch of women, and he's always said that.
Right. And that was, so my problem with it, I could stay clear and be neutral. But once you play the victim and say he's attacking you because you're a woman and you're an educated one, you have more credentials than him, and then you call Ankh feminine.
That was crazy.
Because all he said was your Bachelor's of Science in Psychology does not make you a scientist.
I agree with him. I agree with him 1,000%.
Right. We do too.
And then Sister Juju,
can you repeat that just for the chat?
What part?
No, what part? With just Sister Juju just said?
Doesn't make you a scientist.
No, it doesn't.
Thank you. Because I stated that I am actually in the biochemistry, so I do the clinical. I apply science, so I'm in applied science. I cannot call myself a scientist because I apply the research and the work that is developed by scientists in practicality. Right. They're research-based, theoretical-based, and once it comes down to us being able to apply it in technology, in
engineering, I'm going to say same thing.
It doesn't qualify me to speak about myself as a scientist, but I work with chemistry every day.
Oh, we're in the same boat. I'm an engineer, and like you say, we apply math and science. We apply, but you don't see me beating my chest saying I'm a scientist. I apply math and science. I study math and science, and I apply it. That's engineering, the application of math and science. So but like you said, we're not even beating our chest. So how she got a psychology degree? No disrespect to my side majors, but how she beating her chest saying she, is a scientist, and then like here it is, you got people who are applying science saying that we're not even beating our chest, calling ourselves scientists. But let me say this, and I land my plane. One thing, Sister Juju, that I don't respect, leading with your credentials. I've never been a fan of that. I have a bachelor's, I have a master's, I have my doctorate degree. That doesn't mean you're the smartest person in the room. I've met some people who had PhDs and outside of their fields were complete idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, outside. Now, when it comes to their field, they know their field. You take them outside of the field.
Yeah,
complete. I know that's probably harsh to say complete idiots, but they just out of it. It's like a fish out of water. You know what I mean? Like you just out of your you out of your habitat. You know something. So it's I've seen that a whole lot, but oftentimes a lot of people who are very insecure, really, they lead with their credentials, and that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't agree with that. I mean, I think what happened was I think that she couldn't intellectually spar with Ankh, and as Ankh always say, she dropped her intellectual bullets. You know what you always say, Ankh, you dropped the intellect. You ran out of bullets.
Ran out of bullets. Ran out of intellectual bullets.
Yeah, she ran out of
Okay.
intellectual bullets and dropped her gun. So then she had to then stick her chest out. You know, I'm more educated. I have this, I had that, you know, but I think what happened was Ankh tricked her up, you know, and whatever they was talking about, because I haven't seen the discussion, but whatever they was talking about, I think he probably had the sister on the ropes and she was feeling some type of way. So then she had to default to, you know, now calling them names. You feminine, you this, you don't like women, you know, none of this has anything to do with the conversation, you know. None of this has anything to do with whatever the conversation they were having. But then she kind of, you know, she defaulted to that, the name calling and these attacks, because she simply couldn't hang with Ankh intellectually. So she had to stick her chest out. You know, I'm a scientist. I have a bachelor's, you know, degree. And that's all that was.
Well, I'm glad she do got a damn degree, but you shouldn't be arguing with me on YouTube about it. You ain't never. All y'all got degrees. Juju got a master's degree. You got a doctorate. Miss Tiffany
I do not have a master's.
What you got? What'd you say?
I have a bachelor's of science criminology.
Oh, okay. Now you're an expert.
I thought you said she had that, Juju. Did you say she was a psychology major?
He has a bachelor's of science
in psychology. Okay.
I hate that you laughing like that.
No, I'm just if, for her to what Ankh the respect as a scientist is beyond me. But you know,
remember Naya, my fault. Naya got her master's in psychology.
Yeah, she did.
Naya, yo.
Yep, Naya
Come
sure
on,
did.
yo. I'm a wrong squad. Official, like, what are we talking about, man?
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. Like, come on, yo.
I may be getting my master's though. I had a couple of people, professors from Bethune-Cookman, definitely want me to be involved. So that may happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not downplaying nobody's credentials though. That's one thing
no.
do, Doc. You know that.
No.
Matter of fact, I'm the one to say promote the community to get the damn credentials before you start overthrowing the daggone scientists and the educators. I remember a person told you that you ain't have a doctorate. You was an electrician. Remember that? See how they do it? They don't know what a real attack is. You being attacked right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna deal with that on a whole different show.
Yeah,
right?
but that's real though. He did it. Y'all, you remember, you know, young pseudo sister Juju ran around. He didn't know the difference. He didn't know the difference between an engineer and an electrician. So he honestly didn't know.
Not a doctor. She's an electrician.
He thought doctors only you know, he thought the only type of doctors that existed were medical doctors. Remember, Ankh?
Yep, crazy as hell.
Yeah, he didn't know that you could get a PhD in other fields. I mean, he just really didn't know.
Yeah,
but you know,
but see, in your field, they consider you definitely a scientist, and you got published work. You right? You published.
Oh yeah. I think I got like over several. Yeah, I'm at like 14, 15, maybe close to 20. Something like that now. Right. Yeah, something like that now.
Yeah, so excuse me, I'm just used my fault. My fault.
What you say, Aunt?
I said my fault. I'm just used to being around the level, yo. My fault. I apologize to everybody else.
Wow. So it went from having a conversation to the sister telling you you trying to attack her because she's a woman.
Yeah, that's not true.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's more. I mean, I got a whole back chat of messages.
That's how it was gonna
I've been blocked. And it's just like it's really nasty, and it wasn't meant to be that way.
Yeah, I ain't getting nasty. I'm not going to be crazy with it. I hope the sister continues her education. To be honest with you, we just need more educated sisters. But you don't gotta use it on Sarnetta, yo, against me. That's the crazy to me.
Well, that doesn't help your education. Why you gotta use your education?
Yeah, you ain't gotta use your credentials against me, yo. Come on, yo.
Oh my goodness! And then they throw that bone out on you. You know, you don't like men. Come on, man! Don't throw that. Yeah,
you don't like strong, educated women.
And that's all he surrounds himself with. Ankh grew up with a strong woman. You know, his mother, very, very strong woman. You know, his sister, strong. He's been around strong. His aunties, he's been around strong women his entire life. So you know.
I ain't gonna
Yeah.
say y'all don't get on my damn nerves. I'm gonna say that. From Tiffany to Dr. Mayat and Judy, yeah, y'all stay on my damn head. Y'all make sure I treat the sisters right. Y'all don't play with me. That's the point, though. Y'all not sitting around here playing with me. Let me be reckless. Let me act. Y'all wouldn't allow me to cuss out the sister. Come on now.
No.
Come on, man. So I ain't even built like that to do that, man, because then disrespecting her like that would be disrespecting y'all, and y'all not having it. And y'all got
No, you
authority
wouldn't do
to
that.
handle that. Come on, man. That's the point, yo. The sisters be running this shit around here. That's the point I be trying to make. Simple as that, yo. Who make the engine go? It's the sisters.
You've been
That's the
saying that for
truth.
years. You've been
For
saying that for
years.
years.
And I let it be known.
Yeah, you've been saying that for years.
Look how organized the pseudo killers is. Right? Look at the programs, Doc. Look at your summer camps. You do, matter of fact, you get tired of me saying the goddamn summer camps. You're doing more than that.
Yeah.
But still,
Juju, he keep talking about the summer camps, man.
That's my
We
favorite
all
shit,
year,
though.
we all year round. We
Yeah,
all
see,
year
That's my
that's
round.
not the
favorite, though.
summertime.
That's
I
my
know
favorite.
that.
That's my
Yeah.
favorite, though.
I know
We
that.
all
We
year
do love
round.
it.
That's
And I
my
was just
favorite.
telling people about, the merge cube they can get for their households, for their children. Showed them that. So we do this for real in real life. Because I actually have that tool for the students I mentor and tutor. Like, I don't
Appreciate you,
know.
Sister Juju.
Yeah, we're gonna be in Baltimore in November.
We are gonna be in Baltimore.
Yes, yes.
the
I
grand
can't wait.
opening.
I can't wait. I can't
Pseudo
wait.
killer officials.
I
We
can't
already got
wait.
we already got your ticket, Dr.
I
Mayat.
appreciate that. October, he was like, it's already paid for. We got you.
Yep.
I was like,
Take
oh
care of
man,
it.
that's love. Thank you so much. I said
Yeah.
that is all love.
You
Yeah,
a
the
pseudo
pseudo killers, all the pseudo killers
on the
got tickets to be in
spot.
there.
Yeah.
We gonna be there. I can't wait. We gonna be in
Yeah,
there.
that's gonna be nice. That's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
be nice.
So. Yeah. So that's where we're gonna be at. If y'all want to join us, man, let us know, man. And yeah, get your tickets, man. We're gonna be in Baltimore, man. Hopefully we can do something else while we're in Baltimore. It's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah.
And yep. And here Neil gonna do his thing.
Oh yeah, he always does.
Mm-hmm.
He always does. People be hating on him, but he always does.
Hating on him.
Yeah, they do. They hate
Advocating for
him, man.
science. He's a science advocate. He's a scientist. He's an astrophysicist. All above. You don't hear him saying that. That's
No.
crazy. You feel me?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Mm.
Wow. I'm gonna go back and watch it though, Unc. I didn't watch the exchange, but I'm gonna go back and
Yeah, no, we actually really, to be honest with you, I thought the exchange was actually healthy, right? It's after exchange when Shorty felt a certain way when she was saying certain things.
She felt attacked.
Yeah, she felt like
she attacked us first. She disrespected first. And we I get corrected. Everybody gets corrected. Like, what makes you
I wasn't even
what
trying
makes you not able to get corrected? That's what I don't get. A
She
scientist
felt attacked on the panel. I have to keep saying that because
I thought it was Jay.
I don't even want to repeat it.
Went hard though, Miss Tim.
When she was
saw
on
the attack on Sinetter's panel when Unc was outnumbered.
Ah, okay.
That's weird. Come out the gate guns blazing.
Yeah, but everybody on the panel was in defense of her. How do you feel attacked when you outnumber the so-called attacker? Just saying. How does that work?
There was other people that was talking about some of the same stuff that he was.
It was like one more person on there. But the majority of the people on the panel were agreeing and taking up for her, including Sinetter. So I don't understand how you would feel attack. It'd be different if she was on the panel now, but disgusting like that. I could see her feeling attacked. But I don't know. I get it, Miss Tiffany. I'm not trying to have a back and forth with you. I'm just trying to understand her logic.
People are people.
I get that, but it's like, don't be Big Willie and then turn around and try to play the victim.
Well, I mean, I'm not discrediting any of that. But I'm saying when I saw the exchange, I knew that this is where we were going to be in a few days. That's all.
I know you said it. You've been saying it for days. You was right. You was right.
You was right. You was wrong though, but you was right. You was definitely wrong.
Right.
But you was definitely
quiet, Bobby. God. Try to put you in the back, bro. You've been acting up all day. I swear.
But look, yeah, I'm a hop off. I just wanted to. I saw your messages. Yeah, I saw your messages, Sister Juju, and I wanted to get online, and definitely support my boy. Gotta support
Yeah, I'm
my
going
guy.
live tonight though.
So
And
I'm
I
going
got
live
you
tonight. You
locked
know
in,
what time
sis,
it
for
is.
sure.
cool.
Because
I'm gonna definitely.
he never gave it to me what you told him to give it to me, Dr. Maya. I just want to let you know that, okay? So
Also, he's being stingy,
yeah, he being stingy. He gatekeeping you.
What?
gatekeeping,
That ain't true. What
gatekeeping.
I do?
Gatekeeping.
Wow.
She gonna tell you. She gonna tell you. But
Yeah, I'm
peace
gonna
and
tell
love to
you later.
everybody.
Gatekeeping you, sis.
All right, peace and love.
Wow. Hey, tune in tonight
Bye.
though, Dr. Mia.
Oh yeah, it's on. It's on. I'm there.
All right. All right.
All right.
All right, we
Appreciate
got
you, baby. This
we
Sid
got
case
corrected.
is African. It's
I
yeah, we got
stand corrected. The sisters in the chat. She said she did not feel attacked. Okay, that's cool. I just,
see how you
I
do.
personally I wasn't too, I didn't fancy the exchange, and I told Brother Unc. So I've said that I've been clear about that.
Yeah,
Um, so
facts.
but
Doc
I'm
too
glad that
sweet.
you cleared the air to let folks know
Yeah,
that you didn't feel attacked at that time. So that's cool. I
Doc
stand
too
corrected.
sweet. Miss
Now, who
Tiffany.
said they didn't feel attacked at the time?
Quiet,
Too
Bobby.
sweet?
Come on.
Huh?
If you
She's
did
in the
not hear
chat.
her clearly, because you
Huh?
sound a little muffled, Miss Tiffany did not like how that exchange went. In your defense, sis. So we not here to be badgering you. Like for real. I don't even want
Oh,
you to
you
feel
talking
like
about Too Sweet? Talking about Too Sweet?
yeah.
Nah,
She's
we
in
ain't
the
batting
chat.
Too Sweet. It's all in fun, Too Sweet. Relax, yo. It ain't that serious, yo. Be honest with you, yo. You
Just
don't
come
owe
up
me
here
no
and
explanations, yo. Just don't poo me with this with the sign.
stop. You know we're gonna have a presentation on that too because we have to address that.
Yeah, the poony. Come on, 100 gallons. They weren't even 100 gallons. They weren't even 100 gallons when they built that. It's
and
No, we
crazy.
don't. We don't want you to come up so bad. No, no, no. We don't.
okay.
Don't do that. Don't
Um,
do like that now.
but
What happened,
yeah,
Miss Tiff?
it's not like we're begging you to come up here, but we have
Yeah, you come up here
extended
and say your piece though, intelligently, like a
exactly.
strong
So
black
don't
woman.
make it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cut
That's
you off and
Yeah,
weird.
that's
fight
That
not
you.
is
what it
I
is.
weird,
don't fight
sis.
you.
PK not clout chasing.
Yeah,
Nah, we
we
ain't
don't need
cloud
we don't
chasing
need
for the
you. We don't
for the.
need you.
Yeah, we ain't cloud
We
chasing,
don't need
shorty.
you, sis.
Yeah. We on something big and better. Yo, matter of fact, yo, we actually showing you some love, yo, to even talk about you, yo. To even say your name is showing you some love, yo. Think about it for a minute, yo.
Um,
You probably be at 300 tomorrow.
because everybody's gonna go see the video. Like what we
Yeah, they
talking
gonna
about?
watch the video. That's a
Right.
good thing. Yeah, they can hear you speak, yo. Come on,
That's
y'all
what I
don't do like
mean.
that. It's online, yo. We good, yo. It ain't no hard feelings, yo. DMG,
No hard
he good.
feelings.
DMG, good people, yo. He got a nice platform for y'all, yo.
Yeah.
Just respect that, yo.
DMG didn't come up here wilding and acting
Yeah, he ain't wild out.
whatever. He didn't do that. I don't know.
Nah.
Be more like DMG. What would DMG do? I need to get them bracelets.
Yeah, what would DMG do? Ain't nobody knocking
Yeah,
his.
he
But
was in
matter of
the
fact, I
chat, Miss
appreciate
Tiffany.
DMG building that platform right
Yeah,
there.
gave me and Cedric, just said how we've always been 100 with him.
Yeah.
We ain't never been no problem. He know how we move. He knows what we do. So
Yeah, we ain't we ain't
yeah,
bashing nobody, yo.
yeah. But
Behind.
we do have you want to finish?
Said we
'Cause I'm gonna
definitely
go on
thought
to
that's
Anthony.
funny.
I just don't
Absolutely
believe it.
her.
Okay, don't I got the right not to believe it though, yo? Is all right with y'all?
You do what you want. You got
Right.
it.
If I don't say it on paper, if I don't say it with the steel, with the stamp, I don't believe it. I
Yeah,
meant to
Yeah.
ask
yeah,
Doc that. Doc showed me her joint. Let me
No
see it.
yeah. I
problem.
don't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm from the
Bob,
show me so
Bob
gotta show me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bobby Banger will ask for everybody's degree. If they say that
yeah,
they have a degree or they have credentials, he's going to ask to see them
yeah.
because
I'm actually seeing.
we're evidence based.
Yeah, because
That's
I I get judged a different
I
way.
don't know what the problem that is. I mean, when you go
Yeah,
to employer, they're going to ask for it.
yeah.
Yep, that's a fact.
I don't know. I don't understand the problem. It's weird.
Because you don't need a degree to be a serial killer, but you need a degree if you say you got a damn degree. How
Yeah,
about that?
facts.
See? Don't say
Like,
it.
yeah. So we got Starman Anthony Bowman on the panel. I guess we'll get back to some of our shenanigans, but for now, we're gonna let Anthony have it. Shout out to Anthony. What up, family?
Andy, what's up, bro?
Peace to the pseudo killers. Peace, Miss Juju.
Hey, family.
How you doing,
Thank you
man?
for that.
You all right?
I'm doing. Hey,
Hi.
the the pseudo killers was one of the brightest spots throughout this whole ordeal, man. Especially you. We've been
Mm,
talking the longest. So,
Right.
but man, y'all showed up for me, man. And that really, man, I love y'all for that. I really do, man. Y'all,
Oh yeah, man.
I consider y'all my family. Um,
Yeah,
Juju
damn right.
showed up. She was there.
Literally, look, literally.
I mean, in the flesh. At my mom's house.
Yep.
Sitting with my mom
Mama Annette,
and my wife. You know what I'm saying, and
his
her
wife
best friend.
Shayna.
So, Miss Tiffany, the arrangement that was beautiful. You know, the I just man, I just appreciate what y'all did, and bro, like I said, I love y'all, and y'all showed that the love y'all have for me and my family. I mean, words can't explain it. It was just overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? The support I got from the pseudo killers, and I mean throughout the Discord. Um, I got Miss Lisa. I mean, she was inboxing me all the time. Encouraging words. I appreciate you for that. All the condolences. Just man, thank y'all, man. I really do appreciate y'all. I really do. I appreciate you. It was a tough ordeal, but you know, it's over. My son is not suffering anymore, so hey, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to do that, and I just want to tell you, Cedric, my brother, you broke that down about the laws and the theories. I mean, that was perfect. The only thing I would add to that is when you're dealing with scientific laws, they are just older. There's no hierarchy, according to Dr. Duncan Farrar. There's no hierarchy. No, a law does not overtake a theory. A theory is not, it's just older. Like the way I understand it is Newton has laws. Einstein has theories. Einstein's theories could become laws, but they're only 100 years old. Newton's laws are hundreds of years old, and you can still go out and prove and observe these laws in motion every night by watching the planets. So that's the only thing I would add to that. One doesn't outweigh the other. It's just that the laws are much older. Now, if you want to come up with a new theory, you're going to have to do like Einstein did, and it has to include Newton's laws. So if you call yourself coming up with a theory and it doesn't include Newton's laws, then you're gonna run into a problem. But Einstein's theories include Newton's laws, and that's because the laws they're facts, but they're much older, and you can still observe those, laws today. So that's all I wanted to add to that.
All right, I'm finna Anthony, thank you. And we appreciate you. But I gotta address something. Cause now this shit getting weird and I'm finna act the fuck up. Cause
Nah.
baby, why the fuck would you put on Facebook that I'm Lou Will? I have 3 pages. One is a business page that is shared by somebody, my personal page, and one that I can't do. They both got juju on it. I don't go around playing under nobody's
Who is Lou Will?
disguise. If I want to say something to you, I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna say it with my name on it.
Who
So
is Lou Will,
you can get that
Juju?
shit on down. Don't start playing stupid games because I got all day and I got stupid prizes for your ass for real. Now you being ignorant. Now
Who
you
is
being
that?
ignorant.
Who is that? Who is that?
Not too
Gigi?
sweet. Going around on YouTube posting a page about I'm Lou Will. Home girl, you just said it was Naphtali, so make up your fucking mind. Girl, I gotta go now.
Yeah, we gotta go, yo. She's pseudo. I told you she's pseudo. Pseudos always think they can outthink. They think before they can read your mind.
Look,
She's
you don't
indoctrinated.
block me. and shit. So keep that shit that way, bro. Don't get silly. For real. I don't play them stupid games. I don't got time to be making no pages. You know what I was doing all weekend? I was in Cleveland for one funeral, and then I was in Shreveport for Anthony's son funeral. I barely had time to sleep because I was either on the plane or was at a funeral. So I ain't got time to be doing none of that bullshit.
Make a whole page to address the pseudo. We would never do that.
Never. Why would we? I got a
address
channel
you
I can
straight up.
do that. And I got other people to back me up.
Yeah, it's a straight up conversation, yo.
Because
Ain't
you
no
pseudo. Point
it ain't
blank,
no
period.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you showing your hand because you can't accept correction. That's what pseudos do.
Yep. Yeah. Pseudos get mad. Yeah. Get mad, get crazy. We've been down this lane before, yo. Yeah.
And now you going to lie on me? Girl, bye. You about to be. Yeah, bro. I'm not with
somebody
that.
probably giving it to her straight. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You realize one day. Lou, I mean, wasn't that what?
Keep it 100. Naftali already got the information on you. Girl.
Right.
Yeah, she already got the information. We don't even care about none of that.
No, I'm glad. I'm just glad you fucking
Girl,
with
what are you
education.
talking about?
Yeah, we care about
We done made that public. Are you serious? Stupid.
Yeah.
Go about your business.
Who's she mad in the pilot? What the Folly do? What the Folly do, yo? The Folly is pseudo too, though. They pseudo sword fighting right now.
I was in Cleveland. I was in the land, Cleveland, Ohio, the land. I went to Whittemore's barbecue shop. If y'all from Cleveland area, went to Mama Chill's house. Yeah, Mama Chill know Ronaldo. Y'all know Red, the comedian, Ronaldo Ray. Like she knew him personally. Like, yeah, it was dope. We talked about the Caramu Theater, one of the oldest black theaters in the country. I forgot what Caramu means, but I'll go find it. So, and thanks for the condolences. His name was Kalen Christopher Marshall. That was Anthony's son name. Yeah. A beautiful human being, a beautiful heart, and always made people laugh. Like, never complained. That was the going on sentiment when we was at his homegoing service. And the repast was beautiful for him. He deserved it. Anthony deserved that. So
yeah, Juju, he never. The only time that I saw him cry out of the 14 years he was going through that was when he found out someone had to die for him to live.
Yeah.
And his mother says he also cried when he found out he couldn't play football anymore.
Right.
But
I
I didn't witness that, but I saw him cry when when it dawned on him that somebody had to die for him to live. He never complained. Not once. Never complained. He never ever said, "Why me?" He never said that, and I'm not lying to you. He never said that. So, yeah, that was the strongest dude I ever had the pleasure of being around. And I'm not just saying that because my son. That's just what it was.
It's funny though. You want to attack me? Attack everybody else on the channel, then keep it even. Shit. Because I tried to take up for you, but I can't take up for stupid or pseudo. I can't do that. Fuck out of here, bro. Yeah, Kalen Marshall was a beautiful young man. I'm sorry to mix that in, but that got me hot. I'm finna go. I'm finna get off the panel, but y'all can keep it going for a little while. Just let me know when y'all want to end it.
Now we trying to end it. I ain't know you changed your name to Lou.
You stupid.
No, Juju gone. No, we gonna end it because if Juju's gone, no mischief is here. Okay.
No, I ain't tripping. I ain't doing
Yeah,
that.
I don't have no control, so I won't have no.
I ain't tripping. I ain't going there. Nah. I ain't going there. Yo. I just wanted to make sure y'all. I just wanted to make sure y'all knew who the sister was, yo.
You're a mess. Oh man.
I ain't tripping. Juju in the chat somewhere fighting. In a distant star off in the star. Yeah, somebody wild, man. I think she just do that on purpose. So I guess you ain't see that coming though, huh, Tuff?
What? I told you I seen this coming. What I mean?
Yeah, but I looked at that. I wasn't that was Jay. Jay went hard. I ain't even go hard. I wasn't even doing that.
Right, well, I still
we was smiling, yo. So you saying she was smiling my face just
well, she said she didn't feel attacked, so there's that. So see?
What?
So I don't know what happened. I don't know what.
I was on my best behavior.
I didn't hear that. She said what though? She said what to?
Said she didn't feel attacked. So
Right. I did not
but
attack. She was
the way
talking about Jay.
the way it looked, I ain't surprised where we at today. Okay.
You stupid.
Something.
Yeah, because I ain't think I attacked. I know how to, yo. I know how to attack. I don't hide my hand and throw no stones, yo. Not at all, yo. I don't do that. Nope. And I'm going to say it.
You was too much, yo. You be cracking me up. Ran Kyle off the panel.
We ain't run no daggone Kyle off the panel. What you mean?
Hell no.
That's family right there. You know damn well, yo. What you mean? Who ran Kyle off the panel? He just ain't.
No, nobody even did that, Miss Tiff. No.
Yeah, you gotta stop that, Miss Tiff.
Okay,
Kyle know he can come back on anytime he want, yo.
He left the panel because he felt like wasn't nothing he said was being received. You didn't know that? Because he said it.
Well,
I know I don't catch flack, so I don't care.
Well, that might be true.
Right, thank you.
Who told you to leave, Kyle? You tripping. No, don't do that. I can concur with what Miss Tiffany said in second instance. Because when you're applied science, you're not a scientist. We use that colloquially. Yeah, Ortega, you're a scientist. In the lab.
Somebody told him to leave. Who told him to? It was an aunt. Was it Aunt Kyle that told you to leave?
Yeah, I said that because he said y'all want me to leave something crazy. So I just been funny. Well, leave. You know how we do it.
That was so crazy, yo.
Yeah, Kyle know he get his whole thing, yo.
Anyway. Hey, Gullah. You want to say something?
Hey, Kyle, Kyle, put a one in the chat, yo. Do you think the sisters, the scientists, you're talking about poonie poo?
What's up with it? I was already on. I just came back.
Okay.
That's what we were talking about, yo. Put a one in the chat, Kyle. The person say scientists and poonie poo in the same sentence, yo. The hunter gatherers, yo. Come on, yo. You just work with me. I need your help on this one, yo. Help me out.
And begging and a whole diatribe while begging the question. So being asserting your premise in the question. So if you was asking, so do we have any evidence that ancients developed this work? We would have said, of course, there's all kind of archaeological work that you can dive into. But when you're begging the question already with your premise in there, right? That's faulty reasoning. That's begging the question. Now, especially when you preclude that question with as a scientist, you would refer or defer to the archaeology to have your questions pertaining to how these structures were built answered. You would not go off into pseudo archaeology or doing the Graham stuff by begging the question, how is it possible?
Yeah, you really listen to Graham.
That the ancients who had stone tools built such megalith. It seems as if these stones were melted together. Here we have evidence of diamond cutting technology. How did the ancients do it? That's not a scientific approach. Read the articles, explore the evidence, go behind the researchers. For each one of these sites, there's body and bodies of work. But I thank you for having that position because I produced a 5-part series examining monoliths all over the world. Stay tuned for that episode coming near you. I got a body of work for y'all. A whole body of work coming.
Mhm. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I got your point though, Kyle. Yep, I think we had a conversation about that before though, yo. Yep, I agree with you. All right, I'm done. I done had fun. It was fun for me, yo, man. Man, go ahead, like, and subscribe, man, to the channels, man. Make sure y'all uh support the debate league, bro. Support the brother, man.
Yeah.
DMG, man. Make sure.
Dr. Sweet and I got a debate coming up. Again, it's all love. There's no
Debating
animosity.
about what? What you debating about?
Um, Astrology.
Oh, come on, man.
Astrology versus astronomy. The claim is that in its inception, I don't know which particular one in its inception, that these two phenomena were one and the same. Whereas I hold the position that no, astronomy actually began way, way, way earlier before the advent of the metaphysical assertion that the stars have a effect on human existence. However, that will be an interesting debate because again, often these two terms are confused. Are confused. So it is a good opportunity to just hash that out, clear it out. And pseudo killers, when an opportunity presents itself for me to teach, I take that opportunity. So I'll see Dr. Sweet in the ring where we will be debating. Where we debating that topic. But before that, we'll have a preliminary on over there, Paradigm Shift. Subscribe to the Paradigm Shift. But again, stay tuned later on this week for the next installment in the series, Deconstructing the Divine Spirit versus Physics.
Yeah, hey Cedric, where you at?
Look, me, I'm right here.
Yeah. You know that astrology thing, yo, was a Babylonian and the Greek thing, yo, and they brought that to Africa. In Africa, yo, it was astronomy, yo. The shit wasn't mixed nowhere, yo. They might have mixed it up later on, but in Africa, yo, the African indigenous thing was astronomy, yo. 7,000 BCE, yo, Nabta Playa, yo, one of the oldest astronomical sites yo, on planet Earth, yo.
All right. So see you guys later on this week
I'm out.
for the next installment of the Deconstructing the Divine, where we tackle spirit versus soul. What are the similarities? What are the differences? Kyle?
Yo, what up? What
All
up?
right, what's up, Ty, yo?
Yo, I know y'all was leaving out, man. The reason why I came on at the last minute hit with the buzzer beater is because, as we all know, like our participation in the STEM fields are very, very limited, and
Hold on,
I
you
didn't
ain't
want
mute.
the narrative to discourage any people, young boys and young girls that may be listening, or people that's in the chat that are thinking about getting into those fields, to be discouraged from getting into those fields. And I posted multiple articles in the chat, but I just forgot I wasn't a mod, so I couldn't post them. But these articles were showing between 70 to 80% of engineers. These are people who, like, I get it, the applied science portion, but these are people who are literally scientists that are doing ultrasonic testing. They're testing all these different things, that are coming up with all these amazing inventions, that are literally scientists. But
Hello, keep talking.
Go ahead. Oh, he's in the matrix.
Oh man, that was good.
oh, my fucking my phone had died out. Can y'all hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, we can hear
Nah.
you again. Keep
Okay,
that
my
being
bad.
seen.
Well, yeah, my bad. When my screen lock out, then it mutes me out. But what I'm saying is, like, we got people that are interested in getting into these fields, and I do not want to be. I, I don't want y'all to be a source of discouragement from people that have amazing ideas and thinking that they have to have this standard of having a master's degree or a doctorate degree to become an actual scientist, because science starting with science, a scientist is a person that is falsifying, who is testing their data to make sure that his results are accurate, and then can push a new method into the future for other people to use. You know what I'm saying? That's how I learned science. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't have a doctorate degree, but I do science every day. Would that make me a scientist? By default, probably so, but not by the terms that we're using in this community. You know what I'm saying? Like, Unc pulled up, he seen my degrees on my wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I think he has at least. I don't know if he looked, but you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't have these senior level degrees, and this is what Dr. Ma'at was saying. Like, don't discourage people that have amazing ideas. Maybe she didn't say this. Maybe this is what I read into it, but don't discourage people that have amazing ideas and passion for something, for pushing their ideas into the community for peer review, because that's a scientific process. You know what I'm saying? Simply because you don't have the resources or whatever to go forward, I don't think that we should cut and laugh at people for not having that. But now we definitely understand there's a difference between a pseudoscientist and a real scientist. Like, that's I'm not arguing for the pseudo shit. I'm arguing for real thoroughbred. I'm in the lab testing my shit. Scientists that only have a bachelor's degree, only have an associate degree, because that's all they can afford. You know what I'm saying? And we can't use a certain people's standard and apply that standard to our own community when we're people that are just as smart, just as capable. And I don't want us to muddy those waters.
Excuse me, Kyle. Excuse me
I
one
got a
second.
question. Let me ask.
Whoa. Hold on, Miss Tiff. What's a certain people standard though, and apply to us? What you mean, Kyle? Go ahead. Gotta
Yeah,
jump in on this. What's
now
a
okay.
certain
So
people? Who the certain people though? Just
all
curious.
right. So like, for instance, do y'all
You
know
talking
who
about white
Michael
people?
Farad?
You talking about white people?
Yeah, I'm talking about white people.
Oh
So
man, see there you go.
we no, we're gonna keep it funky. We're gonna keep it real funky.
Oh
Look,
wow.
are you familiar with Michael Faraday and Faraday's
No,
law?
I'm not doing. No, I'm not doing.
Okay, so Michael Faraday was one. He's probably the most world renowned physicist that there is. The nigga never been to college. You know what I'm saying? And he is an expert. We still use Faraday's law right now to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, so when we say you got to be a
Yeah,
master's
I've been through that.
degree,
I've been through that, Kyle. Man, nah, man, come on, yo. That's not even how that went with him, yo. But all right, yo.
that's
You
exactly
got
how
you.
it went.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. It didn't go that way, yo. And as a
Faraday,
matter of fact,
Faraday.
yo. So watch this. Hey, Kyle, I'm a dream killer. How about that, yo?
Can I ask?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the stand. Hold on, Miss Tiff. I'm gonna keep the standard though. So I don't want to hear your amazing ideas on pony poo poo. I don't want to hear it, dog. I don't want to hear your amazing ideas on.
You know, that's funny. Chill, like foolishness, Kyle. Other like, just think about what y'all doing to people, bro.
I don't agree to this other foolishness. That's why I wanted to ask
Like,
this question.
so what are you? Chill, are you telling me that what I'm saying is utter foolishness for me to try to uplift and empower other
I
people
don't want
to
to
get
uplift
scientific?
and empower pseudo though, Kyle.
Okay,
I
that's
don't want to uplift people in the wrong direction, yo. I'm not doing that, bro. You don't got no amazing idea. Think you read the meta lecture and then defeated the experts. Get out of here, bro. I'm not.
May I get in
I
now,
ain't doing
please?
that shit.
So my question to you, Kyle, would be with everything that you said, how do you approach drawing the line where something can be problematic? Because in our community, everybody claims to be this, that, and the third, and it can end up being harmful to people in the long run with a lot of misinformation, right? So how
Yeah.
do you have your approach that you're more empathetic approach that you want to come with, but at the same time kind of be a vanguard for quality information? How do you do that?
Well, there has been a huge shift in the recent years as far as education and the standard for education. And this has been a global standard. The standard has been shifted from degrees to certifications. And so, like, I'm not saying in every fucking field. Like, I think of a doctor should probably go through his process and get hands-on experience, stuff like that, prior to getting certified. But like, the certifications in a lot of fields actually surpass the formal learning process, because you still have to learn to be certified. And like, even if you go to school to become an engineer, you have to reach certain levels of certification before you can actually be an actual engineer that's in the field, that's doing actual scientific experiments and doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And like, these are things that you could bypass by practical experience, by working in the field and getting hands-on experience. This is what I said when I first hopped on. I was talking about certifications, and a lot of African American people in our community do not have the resources to go and spend an additional $60,000 to $80,000 for that master's degree or whatever, however much it costs. But they can afford to get certified and can go into an apprenticeship program to learn these skills, or can work underneath a skilled scientist to learn these skills and learn how to properly do the scientific method in their own laboratory. And I'm saying that if you say that, hey, you're not a scientist, a lot of times that discourages people that don't have the. I mean, you're not a scientist unless you have a master's degree. It discourages a lot of people who may have passions in certain fields to dive into those fields. Because I know personally, if I was told that by a group of people who I respected, that I probably would not be the person that I am today, because that shit would have discouraged the fuck out of me.
Okay.
I look to y'all like y'all are the leaders
Can
of
I
the.
can I can I get in? Can I get in, Kayo?
Yeah, do your.
Hold on, because you didn't necessarily answer my question. I hear what you're saying, but I'm saying if you hear people like espouse misinformation, and you know it's misinformation, and but then they say I'm an expert or I'm this, that, and the third, how do you address that?
You ask
In
them
that,
what you ask them what they are expert in, and ask them for their credentials. Those credentials are typically either degrees or certifications. Most times you get a degree, you have to get the certification. Ask them for your certification to perform in that field, because doctors have certification, nurses have certification, engineers have certifications. All engineers have certification to be able to perform. The degree is literally just means that you can go through formal education in a school, but the certification means you have the applicable skills to perform the task. And you don't have to go to the school to get the certification, because there's plenty of programs that you could do that give you accreditation based on your practical experience. So you could literally be doing biology experiments with, you could be Cedric Ortega's you could be Cedric Ortega's freaking assistant, and then he got 5 years of practical experience. He's documenting his experiments, and then you can use that to get college credit toward your master's degree. So you don't have to be in the classroom. You just have to have those certifications.
Yeah,
In most cases.
using two distinct disciplines. Everything you're saying here works in applied science, the fields we work in, engineering, laboratory technology, um, um, research. That is distinct from a scientist that is research based. His job is to come up with new methodology. At the level of applied science, you're not necessarily inventing methodologies. You're not pushing the boundaries of our knowledge. At the level you're talking about, it's all applied science. And colloquially, we use the term you're a scientist. Yes, they refer to me as a scientist. But being in the academic setting, understanding these terminologies, I cannot quantify or classify myself as a scientist. There are certain prerequisites, adding new knowledge to the body of information. The peer review process, and simply stated, there's a certain academic level required to be able to have understood all the information in the field to think that you're now in a position to come up with a new hypothesis. At the level of bachelor's, You are only applying what has already been developed. You are not engaging in new inventions. Even if you're redesigning or positioning the technology that exists to come up with a new thing, it is not seen as developing a new body of science. For example, the
No, no,
new
I'm with you. I'm with you. Say
new
I
theory
I
in
agree with what you're saying.
electromagnetism by those physicists, those are scientists because they come up with a completely new hypothesis on electromagnetism is the force that produces gravity. So now gravity is an emergent product. That is scientists. We
Yeah.
are not.
Okay. So to your point though, say it like so. You talk about electromagnetism. Let's talk about Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday was not college educated whatsoever, and he has the leading law right now that's used by all people that understand electromagnetism. It's called Faraday's law, and he did not go to college one day, but he was hands on in the field and he got experience and he was able to do so. And so like there's plenty of examples. I can give you the CEO of the company that I work for right now was not he had a bachelor's degree. He has a patent on ultrasonic technology. Did not have a master, did not have a doctorate degree, but he actually leads the field, and other companies like Xylem and all these different companies are shifting to his technology because the people who have doctorate degrees say, hey, this right here is the wave of the future, and we got to we got to understand what this guy did and get on the path, and now we're going
Hear
to
me, yo?
refine it.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So can I say
Yeah.
this, yo? So did Kobe Bryant go to college? Did LeBron James go to college? They outliers, yo. Okay, so we ain't gonna sit here and tell a kid, yo, don't go to college, yo. You know what I mean? And you can be in the NBA. So we're
Yeah.
not gonna do the whole outlier. Let me finish my point though. We're not gonna do the outlier thing here, yo. That's the outlier, complete outlier.
If the outliers represent the top two players of all time, you should maybe think about maybe the outliers know some shit but
Yo,
don't
can I
have.
talk, yo? Can I
My bad.
talk, bro? I'll let you talk, yo. The point I'm trying to make here, yo, is I'm not listening to that bullshit in the conscious community, yo. So if a nigga respected me, then fucking they gotta respect me then. If I kill your dreams, then that wasn't your dream. If I say, yo, you gotta go to college, I can't afford to go, find a way to do it. We here for that. You got Mo. You know what I mean? Did y'all know Mo? You know what I'm saying? Help get my daughter a scholarship, yo. Like, what is we talking about here? I'm not
Um,
going.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Uncle. I just want you, for the record, Gael, to state when Faraday lived. Just for the record, when you talk about Faraday, when did he live?
He lived in like 1900s.
No,
Mike
no,
Faraday.
Kyle.
Yeah,
No,
that's what you're gonna
Kyle.
do to us tonight.
Yeah,
He
that
I'm
was
is
done.
born.
I'm gonna
like,
blame you,
He
Miss
was
Tiff.
born.
I
Hold on.
you I already know.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
I
that's
thought
all
we've
right.
been
That's
through the Faraday
fire.
in the
That's
1900s.
fire.
Listen, that's
Michael
A
Faraday
y'all
lot
hear
of
me?
people,
I'm
is
a
in
lot
the
done,
of
yo.
19th
people
century.
back
I
then,
quit.
a lot
I'm
of people
official.
back then didn't have formal education, but
When
Michael
Oh
Faraday.
when when
wow.
when was
but
it? When was he alive, Gael? Just for the record.
19th century.
1900, 1804,
I,
yo.
I just went to LinkedIn.
Okay.
You know what I
I ain't
did,
fuck with you,
guys? I
Kai,
went
yo.
to
He
LinkedIn. Hold
died
on, I
in
went to
18,
LinkedIn.
he died in
I went to
1867. Gael.
Right,
I
yo,
went to
man,
And,
what
and
they
that's
won, they
LinkedIn.
won
fine.
no college, yo.
I went to LinkedIn and typed in jobs for scientists and looked at the
I'm
qualifications.
done,
Well,
yo.
I agree. A lot of jobs nowadays are not requiring certain things, but I don't know how that stands in the science in in science, the different fields within science. That's so I reference LinkedIn to put in a position for science or scientists, and a lot. I mean, I haven't found one yet that didn't ask for certain levels of education. So I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
so Miss Tiffany, if you look on those job descriptions, right where it says education, it also says or practical experience. Can you?
No, I did see that. Like I saw some that said like if you have one said like 10 years experience and maybe a
Yeah.
bachelor's or a master's. But then if you have a PhD, then they may say 4 years experience plus the PhD. But
Mhm.
I'm not seeing any of the scientific positions just accepting certifications. Like in certain other fields, you can get away with that. I agree. So I don't know, I'm
Hey,
sure there's some
wherever we
outliers.
know, wherever they know the truth now or fail later, yo, I'm gonna tell them the truth, yo. I'm gonna tell them the
But
truth, yo. I'm not playing. I'm not doing that. Have a minute. I boo boo Cal, yo, told me a guy in the 1800s. Yeah, I mean, they ain't going to college. I want to be working with the anthem, but get out. Come on, yo. I can't. I knew it. I wasn't trying to say it, Cal, yo. You funny on that. That was a good one, yo.
Now, what I'm
You
saying is
forgot
like,
somebody tried to get us with that before, yo.
no. I get it. I get it. And all I'm saying is, I want people that are listening, that are interested in the scientific fields, to not be discouraged, but from thinking that they can't do something simply because they don't have the formal education that other people have had or have. And if they have a good methodology, like right now, there's a dude that's actually turning plastics into fucking
No,
plastoline and
no,
Hold on,
no.
gasoline.
Kyle. Hey, Kyle, I don't mean no harm, yo. I don't
Go
mean no
ahead.
harm, yo. But everybody can't be a scientist, yo. Everybody can't do it. Everybody
Nah,
can't be in the NBA. Hold on, yo. Everybody can't be in the NBA, yo. Everybody
nah,
can't do it.
you,
Everybody can't do it, dog. It's not a
no,
lot of jobs out there for you, bro.
I'm not disagreeing with you
Everybody
on that.
can't do it. And if I
A lot
discourage
of
you, you
people
wasn't really
can't.
trying to be it. Yeah, I mean, you really want to try. If I say, yo, you probably got to get a degree, yo, and be in school.
And the plasticine dude he's doing organic chemistry and he's doing applied science. He is not inventing anything, and he's actually mischaracterizing that stuff because if he puts that in a car and drive around, he's going to kill people because the amount of benzene that is in it in his product. So it's not even close to gasoline. It's combustible, but you can't call it gasoline or even close to the any metric of the imagination. But if you melt plastics to a consistency that you can keep it liquid, it will combust. However, you can't call that gasoline. It's not even by a long shot. And that stuff is pure poison. You won't be able to use it because of the benzenes that is coming off of it. And again, this is within the realm of applied science. Everything he's doing there is about using temperature and distillation. He is not reinventing nothing. It is applied science. So this is the distinction that we're making, right? We would call him in the colloquial sense a scientist, but he is actually isn't.
Nah, I get what you're saying, and like far as the points about the emissions of like benzene, what I believe what it's called, it, I agree in all totality, right? I'm just saying like people like that are the people that we need to be inspiring, and like with some assistance and with some proper guidance, we don't know what he could possibly do because his mind is working on a very very high level because
Hey, Kyle, you got a degree, Kyle?
huh?
You got a degree?
Yeah,
Hold on, yo. Did you grow up poor?
I did.
Don't mess with me, Kyle. I know you.
I,
You
I
ain't
was
let that
all
stop you. Hey, Kyle, guess what you do, yo? Yo, you motivate people, yo. You send out all kind of jobs and all kind of shit for niggas, yo. And how many motherfuckers jump to it, yo, when you send it, yo? Come on, bro. Let's not play this game. Dude, don't nobody care. Suppose I lied to you when I met you, yo. Then what? You still be a Hebrew.
there's a possibility, but yeah. But my point is, you funny, huh? My point is, like, what if you told me, hey, man, you can't go no farther than what you are right now?
Yeah, but I would
You know,
never tell nobody that. I would never tell
Can y'all
nobody that, though, Kyle, yo.
can y'all hear me?
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Listen, we kind of
Be
being
nice
kind of
to
listen.
them, boy. Be nice.
Listen, I'm calm, I'm cool, I'm chill, I'm okay. I'm at the house with the family. I'm not gonna get all hyped. Y'all know what happens when that happens. Things get chaotic. Hey, Kyle, listen. I agree with what you're saying. Believe it or not, though, I think you don't have sources to support that claim that 80 and 90% of scientific revolutionary,
I,
especially engineering,
I put
80
it
to
in the,
90%.
I put it in the chat multiple times, and I also put it in the Discord too for you. It's right there, and
Now I'm
Screenshot
gonna
the
go look
crowd.
at it in the Discord. But one, I think bringing up my man from the 1700s that died in like 1860 is wild. But we got examples of people who aren't advanced degree that are acknowledged as contributing to either mathematics or science. So you got the two girls, Jackson and Johnson. I think it's Nakia Jackson and Colodis Johnson, who did the mathematical formula. That's excellent. Nobody's denying that that type of stuff happened. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a person who sat on a YouTube channel and made ridiculous claims and then tried to justify those claims by saying, I got a bachelor's of science and as a scientist. That's different. Don't mix them two up. Like you bringing in a whole nother point that we're not even discussing yet. Yes, you're going to have individuals who may work in a lab. Like I got a cousin who used to work for AstraZeneca making medicine. He's not a scientist. He simply pushed a button on a machine, which is great for him. He made a lot of money. He was successful in what he did. Offered to go to school. He chose not to. Whatever. I got another uncle who did something similar. And we're not talking about that. You trying to make that to be the end all. We're talking about claims made, unsubstantiated, and then using a degree, a Bachelor of Science, as justification for that wild claim. Now stick to that.
Yeah. Okay. So what? So for your cousin's instance, right? He works in the lab. He runs experiments. I'm sure he's privy to the data, and he also offers his opinion and suggestions, right or wrong.
I hope he don't. He don't got enough knowledge to do it.
How do you know that though? Like what gives you the gall to think that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing when he's in the lab every day with the people?
Because I know because one, I know what he did. Two, I've talked to him. And you can in my job that I got, there's individuals who've been there for 15 years and they need a promotion, so they make them a quality engineer. They have no training in it, they don't know what the heck they're doing, and somebody comes up behind them who does have the information, and that's just how they get by. It happens all the time. I mean, we gotta just be real about what goes on in the workforce, right? So my cousin, he doesn't have he has a I think he has what does he have? I think he might actually have a bachelor's degree from Dell State, Delaware State HBCU. Yeah, I think he might. Highly probable, right?
So
But if I was to call and
you
ask
don't.
him, if I was to call and ask him, is he a scientist? No, he's just gonna start working in the lab.
This show has ran its course. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
I guess you told y'all. All righty. I'm good. It's been a good one.